Good evening. Welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium here on the campus of Snohomish High School. It's Saturday night lights here, and it's playoff time. You win, you go on. You're part of the 16 at the table. You lose, your season is over. It's Glacier Peak from the Wesco 4A. The Grizzlies welcome in the Wolves from Eastlake High School from the Kinko. Scott Ohsman, and tonight joined by Steve Hannan, former defensive coordinator for Glacier Peak for many years, now the head coach at Inglemoor, the Mighty Vikings, and also Luke Windsor here. We have Scott Dyer, the statistician, and as always, Ron the Wedge Henthorn here live from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Steve,
how you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good. Wow, there's the Wedge, always breaking in.
Why is he screaming at me?
I was startled.
I'm going down the field, guys. Take over.
All right,
he won't be so loud.
We'll see you, Ronnie.
Slightly startled.
Jeez.
Steve, how are you? Welcome into the booth. Usually you're defensive coordinator, and head coach. You're usually on the field. You didn't like to get up in the booth too much, did you?
No, I didn't like it up there. It takes the emotion out of the game up here. Rory always wanted me up in the booth. And you should go up in the booth. And I'm like, no, I like to feel the game. It's what makes it fun for me. So it's all about fun for me.
Roy Rosenbaugh, now head coach of Union. Boy, they're on fire, probably the number one team in the state. Luke Windsor, how are you tonight? You had a good game last night. Snohomish goes on after the 11-year dry spell there in the state championship 16.
Last night, that was a game that exceeded expectations. You see Garfield in a record 3-6. That was the best 3-6 team I've ever seen, and it took a heck of an effort from Snohomish just to move on and advance. But congratulations to the Panthers, first time in the state playoffs in 11 years.
And you have the national anthem here. Todd Elvig, the executive producer, is off doing something, so we're left to our own demise here.
Are they protesting the national
No
anthem
one
here?
is
What's
at
going
all.
on?
No
What's
one
going
is
on
at all.
with-
Tonight, again, this is a heck of a matchup. Glacier Peak and their head coach, Nick Bender, of course, in his third year. Steve, you worked with Nick for many years, know him very well. He's done a great job here, 3 years as the head coach in the OC. He's been here the whole way through.
Yeah, he's him and Coach Mack, I think, are the two that have been here from day one.
Sowers, is he not?
Yeah, Sowers was here day one too, wasn't he? Yeah. So all three of us, all 4 or 5 of us were started this whole thing off, and Nick has just carried it through. Nick Bender's got a great offensive mind for football. He's constantly studies stuff. He's always calling me, "What would you do if I did this to you?" And I'm like, "Geez, not sure." I'd probably blitz, man up and send the house, But he does a great job, man. The kids really like playing for him. He's got a great attitude and disposition. Leadership's a big thing with Nick.
Yes, he's all about that. Well, Glacier Peak comes in 6-1 in conference, 8-1 overall. The only little burden there they had tonight during the season really is Lake Stevens, and that was a tough loss. Eastlake, Kinko Crest League, you know that league, Steve Hannan, but 4-1 in conference, 7-2 overall. Those 2 losses from Union and Mount Si, top teams in the state. Just a few minutes. Let's just go down and break it down. For Glacier Peak Grizzly, the home team, what are the 3 keys for them to come away with a victory and head back to the big state tournament?
Yeah, well, I think they've got to win on first down, right? They can't let Eastlake get 5-6 yards on first down and then have it, second down and 4, third down and 1, and just let them chew up the clock and keep Grizzlies offense on the sidelines. So I think winning first down, making them throw on third down, I think is going to be huge defensively for Glacier Peak. And the penalties have really hurt Glacier Peak this year. I guess I shouldn't say it's hurt Glacier Peak, but there's been a lot of penalties thrown against them. And if you're playing a team like Eastlake, where it looks like it's a pretty close matchup, you don't want to be giving away a lot of yards. And I think it'd be really nice if Glacier Peak was able to establish a running game outside of Ziomas, like one of those 3 running backs that Glacier Peak loves to use. Let's see if one of those guys can get on track and can pick up 65, 70 yards on the ground. That could go a long way to change the momentum of this game. And
for the Eastlake Wolves, I know you've watched hours of tape. I talked to you on Monday, and you're right on the huddle machine watching hours. So what are the 3 things Eastlake need to do to get a victory here?
Yeah, I think what they want to do is keep an extra defensive back in the field, and they run that 4-2-5 defense. So they have an extra safety on the field, which means that they've got to rush the passer with 4 guys. So if they can get to the quarterback with 4 guys and not have to blitz a 5th guy, I think that really bodes well for them on defense. They need to run the ball. I mean, they're a 50-50 team. They're hard to know when they throw and when they run. But if they can establish the running game, whether the quarterback's running it, who I think is a really special athlete, we'll talk about him, I'm sure.
Grady Robinson, yep.
God, he's the real deal. He's one of the best players on the field tonight for sure. And if they can run the ball and keep that Glacier Peak offense on the sideline, that goes big for them. And then I think a fast start. These playoff games, there's a lot of nerves, and they realize we lose this game, we're going home. If something bad happens early on, then that could spell doom for it. Yeah, it really can start rolling on you. So, mental toughness is going to be big. You got to be able to overcome. That's what Donnie was talking about before the game.
Don Bartel, the head coach of Eastlake Wolves, had some moments with him before the game as well.
What was his saying? Next thing up, next step up. What was
or every day the same way?
Yeah, that was a different one. He had.
All right, he was a book of great cliches and words of wisdom.
Yeah, smart.
A master of coach speak.
There you go.
Yes.
Looks like we're getting ready for kickoff, as in the white unis, the white tops, and the kind of red maroon there domes is the Eastlake Wolves out of the Kingco division. And we are one of the last games, if not the last game, to be played here on this first weekend. Everybody from Kingco has moved on.
Shocking.
Bothell just winning barely over Camas, 36-35 earlier tonight.
So you're saying maybe the best 4A league in the state is doing pretty well so far?
They are not too shabby. So Glacier Peak will start this off first. They're in the home blues, and it starts with kicker Ryan Coran, who, again, we have two good kickers tonight, and it's rare in high school football. Todd Uvig, our executive producer. We have Jeff Matson running the camera down on the field tonight. Welcome, everybody, here to STSPN.
It's a short kick.
It is. It's taken up front around the 15 or so, and that's Kenny, the backup quarterback, and he'll take it up to close to, let's see where they'll mark it here, the 27 or so.
That ball came loose right at the end of that run.
I think he was already down, and that's what the official is saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. You don't want to start the game.
Hello, Scott. We're ready for some football down here.
There you go, Ron the Wedge Henthorn. How are things looking down there, Ronnie? What's the weather report right now?
Everything's exciting down here tonight right now. We got a light rain starting, so a little different than pregame, but we'll see if that affects things. But here we go. Take it back, Scott.
Thank you, Ron. Aiden Ziomas, 4-year starter, and he hands it off first thing up the gut there. A gain of 2 or 3, and we'll see. That's Owens with the ball. They run by committee, Dylan Owen. And that's one thing we talked about, both sides. They kind of have some feature backs, but you're going to see 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah, and often when you have two teams running back committee, eventually it'll be the hot hand who finishes the game.
2nd and 8. Ziomas flips it over, and it's caught on the far side, gets up to around the 36-yard line. That's Preston Weaver, Logan Weaver's cousin.
This will be a really interesting down for Glacier Peak. It's 3rd and 1. Can they just give the ball to the back and pile ahead, or are they not confident and they're going to put it up in the air? This will be an interesting tell for what this game's going to play out to be right here, right off the bat.
3rd and 2, just the start of here, the first quarter of their first series. Ziomas, he is going to hand the ball off. That's Kalen Briggs, and I'm not sure he got there, but the line judge, I think he maybe did.
I think he got it.
It's close. It was close, but I like the confidence by Coach Bender to say, let's run the ball and pick up 1 yard. I like it.
Does Coach Bender script his first 10 to 15 plays, or is he more of a field guy when it comes to play
he's more of a field guy, but he has scripted plays just by formations, but we've only seen trips so far, so it looks like he's going by field tonight.
Kalen Briggs, 78 carries, 603 yards coming into tonight, 7 touchdowns. 1st and 10, he gives it one more time to Briggs, and the big fellas up front in the white jerseys hold him this time. This Eastlake defense, Steve Hannan and Luke Windsor, they only give up 14.9 points per game. They are stingy.
And they've played some really good teams. I mean, that Mount Si team is an excellent offensive football team, obviously, and they did a good job against them, too. So it's going to be tough on Glacier Peak.
The only outlier was when they gave up 43 points to Union, who's the top-ranked team in the state.
Yeah, there you go.
2nd and 9, you see the rain coming down on our field camera. Ziomas thinks about going to the air, but he doesn't. He hands it off to Ferry up to middle of the field, and with a big gain there, Corbin Ferry the first time carrying the ball tonight.
And they want to go fast. Glacier Peak wants the ball on the ground, and they want to be snapping it right now.
I like that play call, keeping the defense off balance.
Garrett Carney in the tackle, and we talked about him, and they keep it going fast here. 1st and 10, and this time Ziomis is going to be sacked for a loss.
Just way too much seepage right there. The defensive line just overpowering the offensive line on that particular play.
And it looked like it was both defensive ends. You beat the tackles and got in the backfield before Ziomis almost could even finish his fake.
2nd and 13, big Zach Kennedy, number 54. We talked about him in our little pregame meeting. He's got the most tackles for loss for the Wolves coming into tonight. And there's a official timeout. Speaking of the officials, Jim Carter is our white hat tonight, our umpire there. Bill Evans, Ross Noe, Joel Taylor, and Ken Mays. So just on the other side here, the 48-yard line of the Eastlake Wolves, Glacier Peak. Ziomis looking, goes over, it's caught, but he is hammered down right away by Brody Leslie, the senior for the Wolves. Oh my.
Yeah, it looks like Eastlake went man-to-man out there just on that short side of the field, and I'm not sure that Aiden read that correctly.
And they also only rushed 3, so they had 8 in coverage, so really clogging up the throwing lanes for Aiden, made him have to hold on to the ball and think about it.
Yeah, on the wide side of the field, they were playing zone, so that was an interesting defensive call.
3rd and 13 on this first series for Glacier Peak, and there's an offensive penalty, offsides. That's number 79 on the right side, the big Adokani.
And Coach Bender talked about that this morning when we taught that they shift a lot. The Eastlake defense will shift a lot. They think they know where they're going to end up in the end, but they always start in a different front and then move into their odd or their even front depending on the offensive formation that Glacier Peak comes out in.
And talk about penalties. The last home game, which was the homecoming big win over Monroe, they had 13 penalties for 100 yards.
Wow.
So they need to clean that up. Now 3rd.
Uh-oh.
And a mile. Ziomis now having to ad-lib, gets a nice block, but he's not going to go too far, and that'll bring up a 4th and many, many yards.
A couple of the receivers, when Ziomis rolled to his right, they kept on their routes going the opposite direction. They need to stop, break off their routes, come back, and help their quarterback out.
Yeah, if they notice it, right?
Yeah,
he's running around.
They look like they're looking back in the backfield, so they should have seen that and gone into scramble drill mode.
Not too many punts this year for Glacier Peak. Spencer Kramer, number 8, one of their heralded receivers, the senior back there to punt. And to receive for Eastlake around the 20-yard line. We'll see if that's...
I can't see his
Yeah, it's hard to see the number here. 0-0-8-11 left to go here in the first quarter. And that is number 11. They're one of their phenoms, Nate Sutter.
Oh, yeah.
He is a stud. 53 catches, 783 yards, 12 touchdowns.
And that's from a quarterback that would rather run than throw. I mean, that Sutter kid, he's a really special young player. He reminds me of that kid from Bothell, that number 6 from Bothell that can run around and beat you in a lot of different ways. They'll use him in a lot of ways, too.
Earlier and last night, Lake Stevens, easy 56-0 win over Kent Lake, and we'll
That's 2 years in a row.
kind of get you.
2 years in a row, Kent Lake's going up to Lake Stevens get thumped.
Yep.
in the district playoff round.
Mount Si wins easily over Rogers from Puyallup. Here we go, 1st and 10 for Eastlake at their own 18. Robinson, the quarterback, number 5. He's going to keep it on the right side, and this is what he does.
No.
He gets loose on the far sideline.
Oh, no. Okay.
And finally steps out of bounds in Glacier Peak territory. And we were just about to tell you, hello, Grady Robinson.
Yeah, he's a special player. You know, we talked about him, pregame and how he goes is how Eastlake goes. That's just a pistol formation, and they ran zone left, and he's reading that defensive end, and he pulled that thing, and off to the sideline he went.
A 33-yard pickup by the quarterback, Grady Robinson. Has 441 yards coming tonight, 80 carries, 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Only 441?
Only.
Wow.
Gee, isn't that something?
Robinson, this time he hands it off to one of their many running backs, and we'll see who that's number 4. That's Garrett Carner, the junior.
He's their power runner, and that's counter Trey right back at him. And, hey, give Glacier Peak some credit on that particular play. They plugged up those gaps, and that's a 2-yard gain on it with a big, powerful running back.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line, and then allowing the linebackers to flow to the ball, read the pulling lineman, and make the play.
Number 11 here, Sutter to the near side as the receivers. Robinson in the pistol. Back his first pass, going to flip it out to number 4 again. To Carney, and he's tackled short of a first down.
Barely.
But 3rd and short, now really the whole playbook for Eastlake is wide open for them. They can run it or they can throw it.
And especially from Glacier Peak's 40-yard
yeah,
line.
and this could be 4-down territory.
Yeah, I agree.
Mitchell Harper, the Grizzly on the tackle there, he has played well this year. Number 62, the senior. So 3rd and 1. For Robinson. Robinson fakes the handoff. Now he's going to run it, and he's got an easy first down, and he'll get more as he runs out of bounds. And that, Steve Hannan, is what we've been talking about before the game. How do you stop him? Talk about the dual threat.
Yeah, it's a great option that you have when you're Eastlake, that you can call a pass play and it's not there, and your quarterback can just outrun everybody to the corner. As a defensive coordinator, that is so frustrating. Everyone does the right thing, and you just can't contain the speed of the quarterback.
But it's almost better that he kept it himself, because the H-back for Eastlake, he was wide open down the middle of the field on the fake, and so if the quarterback had had time to see him, that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, so you question why he doesn't throw it, because that play was obviously set up for the H-back.
Yeah.
6:31 left in the first quarter. No score here. The playoff football, and this time Carney gets it, and he's taken down by the Grizzlies. A nice job to get there first by number 33 for Glacier Peak, Ryan Black, the younger brother of Ian Black, who you know a lot about, Steve Hannan.
Well, what a play. Ian Black was one of the greatest high school football players I've ever coached.
Good bloodlines
24 years of coaching. I've
Wow.
never had an inside linebacker like that. That kid is special.
2nd and 9 for the Wolves here on their first offensive series. They start at their own 18. This time Robinson keeps it on the left side. And Manis there to tackle him along with Oliva.
And that was off counter action. Again, you see the 2 linemen pull, and because the defensive end's following the pulling lineman, which is often what you're taught to do, the quarterback keeps it himself, and big yards.
Yeah, you always have to have a quarterback defender on that side opposite.
Do you keep the defensive end at home, or do you peel back a linebacker
it's
over
the
the top?
inside linebackers for Glacier Peak. Look how wide they
You
are.
got 2 coaches here nerding out here. Robinson takes it right up Broadway, and I think he has plenty for a first down. Let's go down and check with Ron the Wedge Henthorn, who's down there in the rain. What's going on, buddy? What are you seeing?
Well, looks like Interlake's kind of moving the ball pretty good, as you can tell from up there, but I think GP's having a little confusion as to who's covering who on a couple of these plays, so they're getting some heavy coaching from Shane down here on the sideline. Back to you.
Thank you, Ron Henthorn. 5:07, 1st and 10 now from the 16. This is Sutter. First time he gets a catch other than returning the kick, and he's taken down nicely by Oliva. And we talked about Sutter. He is dangerous. And you got to know where number 11 is all the time.
Yeah, and they're in an empty set right there, so the defense is spread out. It's a quick fast screen to the left. The wide receiver blocks, and you just get as many yards as you can. That was actually very well defended by Glacier Peak.
Brings up 2nd and 8 on the GP 14-yard line.
And really on this drive, it's been Robinson's legs that have hurt them more than anything else.
Yeah, we knew that coming in, right?
Carney, the single set.
And
he keeps it, and this time Dirks stays on the edge, brings him in, and he's brought down by Harper, and isn't that coaching 101 right there?
They kept the defensive end at home that time. He did not follow the pulling lineman on the counter trey action. He stays at home, does a good job, and slowed Robinson enough for help to arrive.
Jacob Dirks, outstanding year, 78 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. Just him and Maake Fafita, number 51, leading the charge on the defensive side for Glacier Peak. Brings up 3rd and 5 now on the 11. Robinson's going to go to the air. He fakes it. Now he scrambles.
Oh,
He's got
no.
Green. He
Oh,
waits.
no.
He had wide open. Touchdown, Eastlake Wolves. And that's number 3. Jack Rudd, the senior for Eastlake. Wide open.
Yeah, there's some frustration down there on the Glacier Peak sideline. They think they saw a flag or they saw something, but there was 2 wide open receivers.
Robinson had his pick.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go short, he doesn't want to go long, and he went long. And
yeah, they had 2 guys standing alone in the end zone, so I'm sure Coach Keck will get those guys over here and find out what the heck. Oh, we got a little swinging gate action, Scott. Look out.
Uh-oh.
Glacier Peak only has 1 defender up at the top of the screen.
They got to get another one over there. They're going to throw a fast screen to that kid.
Yeah.
Nope, they're going to bring him back in and kick it.
Ryan Curran, the kicker, outstanding. 33 made on 35 attempts on the season. He's 3 for 3 in the field goals from 28, 29, and 29. So he is, in high school version, he is an excellent high school kicker. This one's up, it's through, and it's good. And with 4:14 left to go in the first quarter, Saturday night high school football playoffs, baby. Eastlake up 7-0.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Ever,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
you got to spin back underneath.
All right, we're back. You can hear coach talk. It's the coach's den right back here. We have Steve Hannan, Luke Windsor, Scott Ohsman here with you. Ron the Wedge Henthorn, Scott Astishan, Scott Dyer. Everybody right now, 11-yard touchdown pass for Eastlake, and that's the difference. 82 yards on 9 plays for Eastlake, and they are up 7-0. 4:14 left to go here in the first quarter. Glad you're with us.
Yeah, this is early on in this game, but this offensive series is going to be an important one for Glacier Peak.
Especially considering you're facing its defense that only gives up just under 15 points a game.
This is taken up. And one more time. Nice move up. Kind of weaves his way through the 37-yard line, and Preston Weaver having some excellent work on kickoff returns.
This field position, I think, could be huge in this game, especially if Glacier Peak defensively is able to tighten some things up. And right now they've had the field position advantage at starting both their drives in good field position. Now they just have to do something with it on offense.
Yeah, a couple of first downs here and move the ball. Their last offensive drive wasn't terribly unsuccessful. Let's see if they can't get some points out of this one.
Ziomas, he's going to go left. He's in the air, and it's caught. 24, Evan Manis, of course.
Yeah, we had a couple of receivers in the same spot right there. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
someone had to have run the wrong route.
We had a couple of guys. That's a heck of a catch by that kid. Evan Manis, dude, he's come a long way since I had him as a freshman here.
First down for Glacier Peak. We are aware that the scoreboard says Garfield Snohomish. It was a great game last night,
Yes.
but we'll get that updated. So Eastlake is up 7, and they have that. And this is Spencer Kramer catches it and falls forward to the Wolves' 46-yard line.
That ball took a long time to get out there. If Eastlake had been playing tighter coverage, that could have been going the other way.
Yeah, that did take a while, but we've seen that a lot with Glacier Peak this year. They'll throw that out there, and that's a nice 4-yard gain right there.
Yeah.
Aiden Ziomas, over
5-yard
2,000.
gain, thanks.
Yeah, over 2,000 yards this season coming into tonight. The kid can throw it. Corbin Ferry on the left side tries to make a move, and the white jerseys there, the Wolves.
That's only a 1-yard gain, but it's an important 1 yard. They have to run the football, and you've got to get the ball to those running backs' hands.
Big shout out to Tim Boyle, Timothy B. Boyle out there. He was in the Tri-City area, and we'll tell you more about what happened with Glacier Peak, the girls cross-country team. They are champions of 2018 in the state. So big hello there to Tim Boyle. I know he wishes he could be in 2 places at one time. I don't know why the Wheels Up jet didn't get him here, but
He's not Kirk Herbstreit.
Ziomas has some time now, no time, and he goes down, and good defense there. Is that a coverage sack?
Yeah, looked like it. Yep, exactly.
Well, nonetheless, it might stall the drive one more time as you see it on replay.
Because based on the replay, Aiden looked at a couple different receivers. He didn't see anything that he liked. Then he tried to scramble and make something out of nothing, and good containment rush by the Wolves.
Well, we talked earlier about that. The defensive linemen for Eastlake are tall. They're not short kids. They're tall, and we were wondering if that would cause some kind of havoc for Aiden. Boy, 4th down and what is it, 8? And we're going to –
and this is Spencer Kramer on to punt one more time. Their second series punt, no one back this time, and they'll just let it bounce.
I think Aiden might have kicked that one, Scott.
Was it Aiden, or I thought Kramer walked in there? We'll see. Maybe I
thought they
either way, it probably was Ziomas with the little quick punt.
And again, that wasn't a horrible offensive session. A couple of first downs, and now Eastlake's going to start the ball, back here by their 20-yard line. We just got to play some good defense. Everyone's got to hit their hit their gaps and play outside in and try to contain that quarterback.
Glacier Pick winning the girls 4A cross-country state championship. Congratulations to all of those kids. And, of course, we're biased here as far as the Boyle family. And Samantha Boyle, Tim's daughter, she had a tremendous day today. Finished 14th of all the competitors there. And
that's
was
a
the
good
number
day.
1 runner for Glacier Peak. So
Amazing.
Starting the 21-yard line here for Eastlake. Robinson has done it in the air and the feet, and here's a new runner tonight, number 22, Leroy Jackson, the sophomore. We've talked about him.
He's the faster, shiftier runner than number 4. I forgot.
4 is Carney.
He's the faster, shiftier guy, so I was wondering when we were going to see him. It looks like they're going to give him the second series here.
Jackson averages 6.9 yards a carry.
So he's the lightning to Carney's thunder.
That's exactly what it is.
2nd and 7. Robinson, plenty of time. Launches deep left corner. Sutter's wide open. Can't hang on.
You hate to nitpick, but that pass may have been about 4 inches too far.
Yeah, and he's standing back there. He's got plenty of time to sit back there and wait for that route to come open. That's a long route, and you better protect, and they did a great job.
And Sutter had a good 5 yards on his man.
Yes, he did.
That was just
Ron Henthorne, how did he get so open?
That kid's pretty fast. He went shooting right by him. I think that if that ball had been a little bit closer on target, he'd have caught that.
3rd and 7 from their own 24-yard line. Robinson over the middle. It's in and out of the hands of number 9, Vinny Montiero. And that'll bring up 4th down, a big stop here on the second offensive series for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies.
This is what I love about coaching defense. You can make a mistake like that, and the quarterback and receiver still have to connect and make it to hurt you.
Yeah.
And that very easy could have been a touchdown. Instead, it's a punt.
And I believe that was Ryan Black with another great play there for the Grizz.
Hey, there you go.
Great call out. And here's the punt. And that's Jackson Porter.
Did he touch that
Buff,
ball?
did he touch
There's
it?
a flag down. There's a flag down.
Okay.
And we'll see who has the ball. A huge play.
There's a flag down, so we may be getting kick-catch interference.
Eastlake says they have it.
Let's check the flag.
Ron Henthorne, you're the closest we got. I know it's on the opposite side. There's conversation.
Yeah, he did touch the ball, and we'll see what the flag downfield means, guys, because it may come back and have to do it over if it was against Interlake.
Flag's against Glacier Peak, though.
It's against Glacier Peak?
Yes, that's
a block on the back?
I think so.
Now, our head referee, Jim Carter, over talking to Don Bartel, the head coach for Eastlake, his 6th year.
Oh, no, he is happy, I think.
And they're talking to him, so a huge, you always talk about that. You know, the turnovers or the big special team plays, sometimes that is always the difference here, and especially in playoff football.
So what's happening right now? Do we know?
We're not.
What's he?
There's Jim Carter.
Eastlake's going back like they're going to re-kick.
Yeah,
this
it does. They're walking back.
Was it if Eastlake recovered that, if that's a pre-snap, if that's a penalty on Glacier Peak, why not just decline it?
Well, obviously they're not giving them that option.
It was
unless Glacier Peak recovered.
It was 4th and 7 for Eastlake.
And now the referee marched off yardage well past the first down marker.
So I don't know, Ron. Have you? Can you hear anything down on the sideline? We're all just trying to figure out what is going on. This is a typical high school.
I'm in the same boat you guys are right now. So
there's about
all the coaches down here trying to figure out what's going on too, because they don't know whether to send the defense out or the offense out yet.
Yeah, nobody's talking to them. As you see the huddle here.
The officials are all talking to each other.
Does it feel like there's one of these about every game?
Yes. Jim Carter, Bill Evans, Ross Noe, Joel Taylor, Kenny Mays. So 1:06 here left to go in the first quarter. Great time to tell you, everybody. This is, we love football, but we're heading indoors. So look to STSPN.com for our unbelievable winter sports coverage. As we see Jim Carter, we don't have him on the mic tonight. We do have our in-house Mike Pereira. What the heck is going on? You're not on the headset, but Jeff Matson here has been an official for many years, and now Aiden Ziomas out talking to Jim Carter. Usually the Wedge is like already out there in the field. He's sticking a mic. Now he is. The Wedge is he's going to get us what's going on.
Looks like it's good.
What?
Oh.
I wish I was a lip reader.
We just lost you, Ronnie.
We're just about ready to get the
GP's way. They're happy down here. They're getting the offense back on the field.
Okay, talk to us one more time. We lost you there. What happened?
You there now?
Yep, we got you.
Now they're indicating that the penalty is against Eastlake.
What happened, Ronnie?
So they said fair catch interference against Eastlake.
Okay.
And looks like GP's going to get back out there again. So
that's what I initially thought happened based on where the flag was thrown.
Is that a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul? It's
kick catch interference.
Wow, that's
wow.
a big time penalty.
That is a humongous. I feel bad that Tim Boyle is not here. There's nothing less than he loves. I mean, nothing more than he loves than a controversial or a big-time penalty.
Yeah, a couple of yellow flags.
Yeah, he loves that. Eats it up. So, Glacier Peak, they're going to start at the Eastlake 42. Ziomas back to pass. He's going to go it over, and it's one more time Preston Weaver getting some catches tonight.
There you go.
And he has tackled a nice gain, though.
He carried that Eastlake kid about 3 yards right there. That's a great effort.
And Preston, he's listed at 150 pounds, so he's not a big guy, but he's playing a lot bigger than
that was impressive
in the program.
Yeah.
He's a youngster,
sophomore.
Future's bright here at Glacier Peak.
Looking for David Castro, number 11, who's had a huge season. And this is Owen this time, and he gets close to a Glacier Peak first down.
And even though there's only maybe about a 5-yard gain, that's I think Glacier Peak's best push from the offensive line so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. We got to stick with that a little bit, right? We got to run enough.
Be patient, so then that way play action can be a lot more credible.
There you go.
3rd and 5. Well, that's not right. 3rd and 1. There we go. Preston in motion. Now the handoff to Briggs. Briggs up front, hits a Glacier Peak first down at the Eastlake 30-yard line.
Yeah, I like the way Nick Bender is calling this drive. This has really been great to see. This is an important drive for Glacier Peak. That should end the quarter, and we're moving on, folks.
That's the end of the first quarter.
End of one. Playoff Saturday night. You win, you move on. If you don't, you hang them up. We'll be back with the second quarter on STSPN.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Ron the Wedge Henthorn and Kalen Briggs, number 7 for Glacier Peak, to start this second quarter, gets the ball one more time, and he has a nice little gain of 3 or 4.
You know, that's a couple times we've seen Glacier Peak now in that tight wing formation, and they've run the ball pretty effectively with it. It gives them an extra blocker in there, and they're getting some push from the offensive line.
And what that sets up is also slipping that wing back out behind the linebackers on a play action later on in this game.
Yeah, that's a little bootleg action that they run across there.
Preston Weaver in motion. They hand it off this time to big 19 Corbin Ferry, and this time it's sniffed out very well there by big 55 for Eastlake Jacob Allen.
And the GP's run that motion a couple times now already in this series, so expect something off of that soon.
Yeah, let's get some fly sweep and see if we can't get outside on here or bootleg off of it and roll out the other way. Anytime Aiden's got the ball and he's rolling out, a lot of things can happen.
He's dangerous.
It's 3rd and 5, first quarter. GP 44 yards of offense here as they fake it. Now Aiden looks up and big 55 rips him down. Oh my. Jacob Allen, we just called his name, 6 feet 190, and he said, welcome to playoff football.
And here's a 4th and 4 now. So we think, Glacier Peak's going to put it up in the air here. I can almost bet.
10:28 left in the first half. That was a vicious.
Do you like a sprint out here to the right with
takedown?
He's got plenty of room over there, doesn't he?
Yeah. Owen to the right. Aiden Ziomas.
Here's that tight wing formation.
And Nick Bender's going to call a timeout. 4th and 4. You got a decision to make, maybe, as Glacier Peak calls their first time out of this half, and we will step away. Be back right after this.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
And watch that wing player. Who's that, Spencer?
And Ziomas goes to Manis. Can't catch it, can't hang on. Tried to one-hand it, incomplete. Tight coverage by the Wolves.
He had a hand on it.
Is that number 11? Is that Sutter covering him?
That was.
Wow, that's the 2 superstars going at it right there. How much fun is that?
Now we see one more time. Evan Manis, the magnet we call him. He had one hand on it. He's made those before.
Michael Palmer in the missile. Now you got the magnet.
That's right. Well, that's a turnover on downs there for Glacier Peak after 5 or 6 plays. Eastlake scored on their first series, 11-yard touchdown pass. to Jack Rudd, and they've 7-0. They punted last time, so they'll start here on their 24-yard line.
They got
Carney gets the carry.
Yeah, they got the big back in the game.
I don't know if I like that play call when you have your bigger back having run laterally. I want him going straight ahead right between the tackles. Use your speed back for those sweeps. Have Carney go right at him.
Yeah.
Carney listed at 6'1", 200. It's a big boy.
He plays that way, too. He's a hard-hitting football player.
The name sounds familiar to the name from my past, Mike Carney, the fullback from Kentwood a long time ago, who I played against.
They give him one there.
And I don't want to talk about how that game went, so it's just.
I've had a few of those myself.
I just brought up the name. I don't want to talk about the game.
Now here's split back, so we're going to look at halfback lead here. Now we got motion out of the backfield.
Jackson goes in motion. And he gets to the ball right there. And Jackson gets across the 30 to the 32, taken down by Dirks and the gang.
God, we'd love to see the Glacier Peak defender break down and get into that inside hip and not overrun that ball. But the Jackson kid, he's a shifty. Leroy Jackson's a shifty, fast little back.
And Ryan Black read the play right away, but he just took the inside angle and he tried to backdoor the block and got caught inside.
You got to get your run fits.
8:44 left in this first half. 3rd and 3 for the Wolves. Robinson, he's going to take it, matters into his own hands, but there's whistles.
Thank goodness, Lord have mercy.
He had a lot of room over there on the left side, did Katie Robinson. And it's a false start here against the Eastlake Wolves.
It looked like Eastlake was going to run a quarterback lead, and Robinson, like you said, he had a lot of room to run. Had he
bounced it.
Had that play, and that play been able to continue.
That'll push him back. Fun talking to head coach Dan Bartel, in his 6th year. Don Bartel. And just what he's doing over there, all the success he's had, and how his whole approach.
Yeah, that was fun.
Trips to the near side.
Robinson fakes it. Now he's going the opposite side. And this is Jackson one more time. He's got some room. Makes a move, and he picks up a big Wolves first down.
The Glacier Peak coaching staff, you can see Shane, Coach Keck's a little frustrated. He was calling that play out, it looked like, from up here. He's trying to coach right now. This is how Shane coaches. He's very demonstrative. He's a
flag
lot
down,
of fun.
though. Flag down.
And
that's on Glacier Peak.
That just adds more yards to that one.
Yeah. Oh, was it a dead ball foul?
Jeff Matson, our in-booth referee, sometimes on-field camera. The guy does it all. It's unbelievable.
You know, we talked about penalties in Glacier Peak and how they cannot give Eastlake yards. They have to.
And
20 yards. Okay.
But it's only their
What do they have,
It's only their
Scott?
second penalty of the night.
20-yard penalty.
We just can't give Eastlake yards. We have to make them earn it.
So now on the GP side of the field, Robinson thinks about it, steps back.
Wow.
And here comes Fafita. Maake trying to get him. Dirks tries to get him. Still on his feet. Now he releases downfield, wide open. It's caught.
Wow.
At the 16-yard line by Leroy Jackson. What a play by Robinson.
Is there someone not up there with a joystick controlling this guy?
Exactly. That's a great call. Wow.
I mean, it's tough to analyze that play because of the broken play. Receivers are breaking off their routes, just trying to do the scramble drill, and Robinson does the rest.
And now defenders have to make a decision. Do I go put pressure on the quarterback, or do I stay with my guy? And
a guy like quarterback like this, it's a no-win situation.
25-yard pickup after the big penalty. Fakes it to Jackson. Now Robinson just stiff arms Glacier Peak player, and he's run out of bounds finally.
They faked that counter again.
And the quarterback kept it again. Who contained it that time? I was curious what adjustments Coach Keck made.
It looked like it was
Mitchell Harper, 62
that's
there.
An inside linebacker,
yeah,
what we had talked about earlier.
Well, first time they contained it was with an end. Now it's a linebacker, so I think they're going to switch it up. Something I noticed there that Robinson, he held the ball out away from his body a little bit on that play, so maybe try to knock it out next time he does that.
Yeah,
Grady,
Russell Wilson started that stuff.
Yeah, Grady Robinson, he had 53 on the ground just in the first quarter. We'll get an update here, but he is tearing it up. 2nd and 11 now on the Glacier Peak 19-yard line. He does give it the ball to Jackson. Jackson spins out of a tackle, still up and going, finally down at the 15.
That's good defense, though. You're going to miss some of those tackles like that. You don't like to as a defensive coordinator, but it's going to happen. And great defenses run to the football. And there was a lot of blue jerseys around that.
But what you do want to stress to the guy who has a hold of the runner there is finish the play. Don't let go until you hear a whistle blow.
Yeah, no question.
3rd and 6, right on the 15. In the red zone. Flip it over Sutter. Sutter, the TD machine, and this time it's well played by the GP defense. And number 34, Reese DeHaan.
Yeah, that's one of those tunnel screens out there, and it's tough to handle those tunnel screens, but Shane's got those inside linebackers really wide, and that really helped him shut that play down.
Dirks there as well to help out. 4th and 3, not even a question here.
Look at this formation. They got quads going on over here right
Empty
now.
backfield.
They 4 receivers to the right.
And
now
one up top on the left.
The one on the left. You talked about this, Steve Hannan, at coffee here. Sutter on the left. He's got 12 touchdowns. There he goes. And they throw it to him, and he wasn't even looking, and Oliva was just turned around. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs. What a huge stop here. 4th and 4 at the GP 13.
Were they trying to? It looked like they're trying to hit a back shoulder throw, but the receiver never turned around to look for the ball until it was too late.
And give Coach Keck a little bit of credit here, fellas, because he had 2 defenders on the single receiver side and played man on those 4 receivers, which is dangerous. But he knows what we knew watching film. They want to go to the back.
Exactly.
They want to go to Sutter. They want to go to Sutter.
In my scouting session at Starbucks before the game, I remember that one.
Yeah.
He needs a Holiday Inn.
1st and 10 on their own 13. They give it up the middle here, and a good gain of 4 for Kalen Briggs, the workhorse. And now they've got a long way to go. 5:55 left to go here in this first half. They have 2 timeouts left as Glacier Peak down 7-0 here on playoff Saturday night. Ziomas. Preston Weaver barely gets there in time, and he's stuck by big number 9, Benny Montiero.
On these wide receiver screens, the wide receivers do not get in the ball. They have to make their blocks. If not, bad things happen.
And you got 2 receivers out there and 1 defender.
Yeah, that's
right between them.
That's really, I mean, that's going to get talking to you from the wide receiver coach at halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
Big 3rd and 9. Preston Weaver getting a lot of time. Trevor Meldrum banged up after the Mount Vernon game. And that's why you're seeing number 30. Hope Trevor is good. Zioma's back. Has time now. He thinks that he's about to get it. It's fumbled! The ball's down, and Eastlake might have it! Aiden Ziomas scrambles, didn't hear the footsteps as we take maybe one more look, and that is a massive turnover in the red zone.
Now Shane's got to get that defense together right now in this sudden change, and this is an opportunity for them to come out and say, no, we are not letting them in right here. Shane's got to do a good job of getting these guys ready to play defense. Look at their body language coming out, Scott. Do they look like they're ready to play?
I'm not sure. You got a lot of two-way kids. You got Maake, you got Evan Manis.
Are you telling them to watch out for anything play action and throw it in right in the end zone right away?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd be that specific at this moment. I think it's just more like, guys, here's an opportunity for us to come out and shut this stuff down after this hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do almost anything.
So big fumble. They haven't fumbled a lot, but now they are in business on the 7. 1st and goal. Jackson. And he's just getting tugged back, and maybe they give him a yard.
And that's that split back formation, and Eastlake likes to run the ball when they got 2 backs in the backfield. That's just straight lead. And the defensive line for Glacier Peak does a great job. The linebackers fill. Everyone hits their gaps, and they do a good job on defense.
But you probably still need someone to account for Robinson, maybe keeping it as well.
Yeah, gosh, that kid, man, he's a player.
We'll go down to Ron Henthorn. Ronnie, we'll see this play here, and I'll ask you about that fumble there. for Baby Z.
But take a look at this quick play here. You're going to see a straight up the middle.
And this time they give it to number 14, who's still on his feet, Did he cross the plane? Jalen Bright, the junior, this time gets the ball, number 14.
Oh, so we talked about him a little bit pregame. And Coach Keck had seen him on film and thought that he was a special player.
Nice job by Jacob Anderson, 73 there to get in for Glacier Peak. So they are right on the doorstep, 3rd and goal from the half-yard line almost.
This is a big play in this game right here. Come on, Glacier Peak, move that offensive line backwards.
And we got a Wildcat situation. Oh. Snaps over the head of Carney. Carney just has to dive on it.
Huge.
Unbelievable.
You have to wonder with this wet weather we've been having tonight, did the wet turf or a wet ball cause that an errant snap there from the center over Carney's head?
And Reese DeHont got a little chippy there, and Manis, the senior, had to say, just calm down here. Let's fight to live another day. Or maybe he was just saying, great job. 4th down.
Wow.
And 22 yards to go.
They gave him a pretty good spot there. I don't know when he actually recovered the ball. I think he slid clear back to the 25.
Again, Jeff Madsen, with all due respect in the booth here, a classic high school spot. 4th and goal here. You got to look alive, though, Robinson, and there's whistles.
Timeout. Did Glacier Peak call a timeout?
No, Eastlake.
Oh, Eastlake won. Okay.
Oh, timeout Grizzlies is the – no, that is Eastlake because they're on offense. Oh, my goodness. What? Just a minute and a half. We'll step away, and we'll come back and see what Eastlake, if they can score or not.
Frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Yeah, Yao Ming would have had a time with that one.
Back here, Scott Ohsman, Steve Hannan, the head coach of Inglemoor, the former defensive coordinator, Luke Windsor with us, Scott the Dyer, the statistician, and Ron, the Wedge Henthorn. Ronnie, what do you think they're going to do down there, buddy? You think they're going to just go for the end zone, or are they going to play it safe? I don't think Ron can hear me. The band is playing.
No reason to play it safe.
4th and goal from the 22.
You have to go for the end zone.
This time, Grady Robinson. He goes straight over the middle, caught, and it's out of his hands. Oh, my.
Wow.
What a hit by the Magnet Manis.
Wow.
Intended for Brody Leslie. Take another look. Oh!
He timed it perfectly. Timed that hit perfectly.
Wow. Look at Coach Nelson's fired up.
Evan, the Magnet Manis, the senior, he couldn't hang on to the one-handed catch in the end zone, but he comes up big on the defensive side. What a play.
Man, we go back at the end of this game and look. That snap over the Wildcat number with a Carney over his head could be a turning point.
Indeed. So now Glacier Peak takes over. Ziomas, they have held him. It's to Ferry on the right side, the far side. A nice pickup of 5 or 6, and Corbin Ferry is getting in the groove. Scott Dyer telling us, boy, they are shutting Ziomas down. Only 26 yards through the air so far for Aiden Ziomas. They're -9 on the ground for Ziomas, who had the fumble. 2nd and 6. Ziomas back to pass. He flips it out to Owen. Owen tries to make a move. Dylan Owen crosses the 30 to the 32. He'd be close to a first down for Glacier Peak.
Yeah, I love what Coach Bender's doing right now. He's got the back out of the backfield. And out of that 4-2-5, you got the extra safety on the wide side of the field. You've got room. on that side of the field, and that's 2 plays in a row. They've slipped the back out of the backfield for some pretty good chunks of yards.
But so far, I really think that's the only route that's been open for Glacier Peak is the back on the swing.
Yeah, Eastlake's doing a good job with the wide receivers, agreed.
And whenever Ziomas is looking downfield, that front 4 is getting a lot of pressure on him as well.
And we talked about that pregame, right? Can Eastlake rush with 4 players and drop everybody else? And so far, they've been somewhat effective doing that.
So they give Glacier Peak a big first down, 1:59 left to go. 1 timeout in this first half. Ziomas goes over, and it's caught by Manis at the 48 into Eastlake territory, and he spins out of bounds at the 43.
And I don't want to get too technical here, but by Bender running the running back out of the backfield, it makes the inside backer go with him, which opens up a hole for Eden to throw to 24.
It's the basic flat curl concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just beautifully to watch it from up here, watch it transpire and happen.
If you have a whiteboard at home, I suggest getting it out for the second half. That's a 24-yard pickup, excuse me. Here's Ziomas scrambling. He's got to hold on to the rock. He's got pressure, and he does throw it away this time.
Ooh, and he went right into the bench over here.
No flag, though. No flag.
Knocked the bench over.
Someone
catch
okay.
it. Could someone catch Ziomas as he
Ron,
comes off the side?
I understand if it's the other team's quarterback.
Yeah, let him go.
But if it's your guy, human shield.
Ron Henthorne, what's going on down the field? And also, as usual, we want to know, is the rain picking up or what's going on?
Kind of exciting down here right now. I just saw Aiden come over and take out the bench on the back of the field down here, but looks like they're moving the ball.
2nd and 10, Baby Z. He's got a wide open Spencer Kramer right at the 26, into the 20 inside the red zone, and Glacier Peak moving now.
It's amazing what a good quarterback can do when he has protection. Great job by the front 5 of the Glacier Peak, giving Aiden time, find the post route open down the field.
It's just momentum now. I love high school football this way. Momentum just gets rolling and everything starts to work.
Big pickup, 25-yard pickup for Spencer Kramer, the other senior, 6'5", receiver. Wow. Ziomas all day long now directing traffic. And here comes Carney, and he gets him out of bounds. Another tough hit for Aiden Ziomas.
Look like Aiden wanted one of his guys to go deep towards the end zone. Didn't happen, so Aiden just had to keep himself and get what he could.
Yeah, good decision by Aiden there. I didn't see anywhere to go with that ball, and just take off and run and get what you can.
Ron Henthorne, we're getting some good audio there on the sideline for Glacier Peak. You see him in the white jacket at the bottom of your screen.
Ron, if Aiden runs over there again, make sure to catch it before he hits the bench.
2nd and 14 to go for a first down at the Eastlake 21. Now he's got pressure, and he's not going to get out of big number 77's paws. And that's Jake O'Donnell, 6'2", 225. And Glacier Peak's 4-year starter senior is still on the ground. I don't know if we can take another look at that play.
What I thought I saw happen was that the right tackle, he'll come off a double team to take an outside rusher, and the guy who was getting double teamed came free. The guard never picked him up again.
And he just kind of fell down funny, I think. Hopefully he is okay. As the backup is getting going, we'll check on him. But let's take a break and we'll see what happens. 1:05 left. They had some momentum, did Glacier Peak. More after this.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Back here, 1:05 left to go in the first half. Saturday night playoff high school football. And Glacier Peak here down 7-0. They're driving. It's 3rd and 18 on the Eastlake 25-yard lines. You see backup quarterback as Aiden Ziomas goes down. Ryan Kinney, who does have some play this year. He played in Mount Vernon. He's played in a few other games. But a big, big moment here for Glacier Peak.
Man, they're going to let him throw it right out of the
And he
gate.
gets it, tries to get over to Castro. Number 11 is the intended receiver.
Now, Aiden is really uncomfortable down there.
Did a defender get his hand on that pass at the line of scrimmage?
Maybe. 4th and 18.
Because that fell between two receivers.
Again, they are
You're
heading.
going to see a field goal
I
here,
know.
guys.
I was just thinking to myself, Ronnie. Braden Corwin, when he was a freshman in a JV game, hit a 52-yarder.
A freshman?
When he was a freshman, we see him on the sideline before the games. He does 50-plus. He can boot it. This is going to be a 42-yard attempt by Braden Corwin, the junior. And the other thing is Meldrum usually holds, so here's the snap, the kick. I don't know if it might have gotten tapped.
No.
It's no, it is, it's good!
Bled over.
Oh my! 42-yard field goal, Ronnie. It looked good all the way, right? Ron can't hear me.
I think he's looking in at Aiden Ziomas right now.
Wow. He had his 42-yarder early in the season, and Braden Corwin puts it up and through. I thought it was off to the right side,
I thought
didn't
it was short. I thought it was short.
I don't know.
If it got over with inches to spare.
So 7-3 with 38 seconds. Glacier Peak ending up to get something out of that series with two big plays to Manis and Spencer Kramer. But the big story right now, if you're a Glacier Peak Grizzly fan, is their four-year starter, Aiden Ziomas, okay? He went down on his wrist, and we'll try and check in on that momentarily.
Aiden is being attended to on the sidelines. I don't want to give you too much more than that, but I doubt he's questionable to come back in for a while.
Got it.
Well, we got 38 seconds to halftime.
You
So
squib kick it here?
yeah, I don't think I kick it to that kid back there. That's for sure.
Yeah. And Corwin punches this, and
Well, they
it's
kicked
taken
it to
by
him.
Sutter. He tiptoes it on the end line, but it's good. And here's Sutter, far side. He has one guy, and this time he finally is out of bounds. Corbin Ferry able to slow him up just enough, and 28 seconds left to go for the Wolves.
Boy, that could have been a gigantic play. There was an Eastlake Wolf out there to block for him, and he ran right past the Grizzly, and the blue shirt was able to slow him down.
I was a special teams coordinator at Kamiak for a couple years under Coach Dan Mack. With a guy like Sutter back there, I wouldn't even have to wait for Coach Mack to tell me. I'm going to tell my kicker, hard squib.
I agree. I'm not kicking it to that kid either. Kickoffs scare the heck out of me anyway.
Have a big, fun special here. Guest coming up at halftime. We'll tell you about that after this. 1st and 10 from their own 32. And Robinson keeps it on the left side. Maake Fafita and chase, and he gets him out of bounds near the 40. Rylan Spencer going to come up and join us at halftime. There is nobody, it's not even close, who has seen more games in person around the state of Washington than Rylan Spencer. He'll come up and talk about that a little bit. And a pass that's incomplete, trying to go to Sutter. A gasp there by Steve Hannan.
Well, who's the corner? Who's the corner playing over there? Because he jumped that route fast. I thought he might have a chance to catch that thing.
Jaden Oliva.
Look at this.
Oliva, yeah,
Oliva.
He got a hand on it, looks like.
And he did a good job keeping his backside hand off of Sutter long enough so he doesn't get a PI call on him.
It looked like the ball was a little bit off the mark. If it would have been on the mark, we might catch that thing and go.
So 3rd down, 4 yards to go, 17 seconds left to go in the first half, excuse me. Here's Grady Robinson. Plenty of time. Now he unleashes, and it's too much. He's trying to go to Brody Leslie one more time. incomplete, bring up fourth down.
Hey, this is.
If you Glacier Peak, you can't ask for anything more on this drive.
No.
Ryland, he's already made his way. I think he was down south this morning, and then he was at Bothell-Camas game. Bothell squeaking out 36-35. And there's a third and final timeout there. And we'll step away real quick and come back and finish up the first half. He's going to come up, but I can't. Back here, 12 seconds left in the first half. Eastlake, fourth down. Looks like they're going to go and punt. Jackson Proctor, sophomore, back there to punt. And he gets off a nice one. No one back really to receive, and it's out of bounds at the 33 or 4.
5 seconds to go. Maybe you just sit on this one.
I think, especially with your backup quarterback, take a knee, go in, see how Aiden's doing, and talk about what the plan is for the second half.
And Aiden has not moved off that bench since he went over there.
Spoiler alert here for college football fans. Washington Huskies 21-0 over Stanford just the start of the third quarter. 3-0 the Cougs over California so far, just early in the first quarter there. I know Tim Boyle's going back and forth between this game and the Wazoo game.
Go Dogs.
Setting up for, depending on what happens today, and I know we have a little ways to go, but an unbelievable Apple Cup.
Yeah. We've had a few of those in recent years, haven't we?
The last two have decided the North.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting.
Ryan Kinney, the sophomore backup quarterback in for Aiden Ziomas, who went down on the last series, and we're trying to get some update on him. Number 6 in there. And he hands it off to Briggs, and Kalen Briggs, the nice run, and that'll do it for the first half. We got a good one here. Glacier Peak from the 4A Western Conference. Eastlake from the dreaded Kenko Crest Division. They're up 7-3. We'll be back with more. You're watching Saturday Night Lights playoff football on STSPN.
All right, Scott, you got me up there.
Oh, yeah, no, we're going, I'm sorry, go.
Bender, Nick, a little bit of a low-scoring game out there, but having a little trouble getting your offense going. What do you got thinking about that?
I just think we're playing a little bit flat right now. We had to get here about an hour earlier than we normally do because we're going through some things as far as staffing. And I think it's just a matter of getting these kids to wake up and play, and we'll be fine.
So right toward the end of the half there, you got some pass plays moving you down the field, so that looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think, we're getting some stuff figured out, and so now it's just a matter of perfecting the little things, and we'll get it rolling.
Well, let's see what you can put together in the second half, and good luck with your quarterback.
All right, thank you.
All right, back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Ronnie. Head coach Nick Bender. Boy, you hope Aiden Ziomas is his, senior, 4-year starter. You hope that that's not too bad and he can come out and compete in the second half. Now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Ryland Spencer after this.
Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
All right, halftime here. The Eastlake Wolves up 7-3 over Glacier Peak. Our halftime guest, Rylan Spencer. Rylan, thanks for coming up. And are you tired yet? You've what, over 5,000 miles. You've watched like 8 trillion high school football games. Are you a little fatigued? I mean, how's your conditioning?
Well, I mean, you can see me. It's not the greatest conditioning. This is my 6th game this week, if you include the Tuesday night game up in Granite Falls. You know, it gets tiring, especially this time of the season. But you know, I have a lot of fun doing it, so it's nothing.
It's your passion. You started this how long ago?
So I've been going to games ever since I was a little kid, and I've been going to a ton of games. My dad used to take me to Popkini all the time, watch Frank Nash and the Inglemore Vikings. I was actually kind of an Inglemore fan as a kid, and then as I got to growing up, you know, I wised up a little, became a Juanita guy, and then I attended Juanita. So I've been going to games all my life, but really doing what I do now, I've been kind of counting my games and doing different things for, I think this is 6 years now. So I'm up somewhere around 350 games in 6 years.
Unbelievable. Cascadia Preps, Rylan Spencer, a great follow on Twitter and all social medias. You always, every time you go to Popkini, you always give a big, you love Popkini, right?
Love Popkini.
It's such a great, such a great place.
Camas fans give me a lot of heck because they love Doc Harris Stadium, their home stadium.
Right.
Some of them even today after the game, they said to me, they go, you know what, you're right. This is the best place to play. They said it to me.
So yes, and you were right. That was an unbelievable game.
That was a great game.
36-35, Bothell squeaks it out.
Yep.
Some interesting plays down the road, but talk about high school football and where we are right now. Obviously, you're in all the committees, and we want to talk about the evolution here. Is it big data and RPI systems, and they're going through that, and how do we get the human element involved? So just tell the folks at home who aren't maybe familiar and aren't nerds like us and don't follow all this, what was it before and what is it this year?
Well, you know, before it was pre-seeded, and honestly, you ended up with some games in the first couple rounds that were potential state championship games. I remember one year Bellevue and Lakes were both in the national top 25, and they played in the first or second round. Really, you want to avoid stuff like that. And a lot of it, I'll say, is kind of common sense. When you look at two of the top teams in the state and you go, why are these guys playing so early? But when you pre-seed it, in September or August, it's unavoidable, So the human element is going to step in with the computer rankings. Kind of everybody's done their homework. Everybody on the committee's done their homework. We're going to put it all together into one room down there at the offices in Renton, and we're going to figure out the best bracket. I mean, I think at the end of the day, as long as you can get kind of the top teams right and kind of fill things in from there out, I think you're going to do a great job. So, I'm really excited. I feel incredibly fortunate to be on this committee, because just a couple of years ago, a lot of people looked at me as kind of just a blubbering idiot that was a decent follow on Twitter, you know what I mean? And now here I am getting an opportunity to help with the state tournament. So, I wasn't a good coach. I wasn't a very good player at all, but, this is kind of the way that I can, put my part into football.
Well, this is just, if you get mostly consensus, right, you're not going to make everybody happy.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you do. But, I talked to Steve Willits, obviously, the people that cover high school football. There's nobody who's seen as many live games as you, but there's not many people in the state and the media anyway who knows more about Washington high school football than you.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment, and it's something that obviously I've dedicated, put a ton of time and effort into it, and I love doing it. When I get home, honestly, when I get home tonight, I'm probably going to go straight home, maybe grab something to eat on the way home, and I don't know if I'm going to even sleep tonight. I might just stay up the whole night, put my bracket together. I want to walk in, I want to be prepared, I want to make sure that everybody has any type of information they need to know about teams so that we can put the best brackets possible.
So we'll ask you, Cascadia Preps.
Yeah, CascadiaPreps.com. It's part of the 247 network. We don't charge a subscription for anything at the moment. I don't know if they're ever going to make us do it. If they do, then I apologize. Trust me, I don't want to do that. I want to keep everything free, because I don't want uncle in Texas to have to pay to read about his nephew.
Well, that's what we do at STSPN here. It is
I watch your guys' stuff all the time.
Entertainment for the charge is pretty good.
Yeah.
So before we let you go here, halftime, what's your observation? One half of play here, 7-3 Eastlake Wolves. Big Aiden Ziomas, the big injury, and we don't know if he's going to play again, but 7-3, what's your thoughts on the first half here?
Well, I'll tell you what, I really feel like Eastlake dominated that half. I really do. So if you're Glacier Peak, you got to feel real good about the situation, in the fact that you're only down 7-3, even though you kind of took a lot of punches in that first half. But without Ziomas, if you don't have Aiden Ziomas, you feel good about your situation, maybe because of the score and what you kind of battled through, but that's an uphill climb without Aiden Ziomas.
Excellent. Rylan Spencer, thanks for coming up and spending some time here. I think, is this your STSPN debut? I believe it is.
It has to be.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never been on TV or anything like this.
Well, there you go. There it is.
Yeah, this is a ratings nightmare right now, I can tell you that much.
He's fantastic. I'm telling you, I don't know if you're dictating while you're driving 5,000 miles, but you're constantly writing. You're talking to people. You have a podcast. You're all over the place. Rylan Spencer, thank you so much. We'll be back with the second half, 7-3 Eastlake up. Friday night. Nope. It's Saturday night. Playoff football on STSPN. Thanks again.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Back here, getting ready for the second half. Scott Ohsman with you. We got all kinds of fun stuff. The STSPN booth. It's a party up here. Got Steve Hannan, the head coach for the Inglemore Vikings, former longtime defensive coordinator for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Also Luke Windsor here. Scott Dyer, the statistician. The Wedge getting warm up here in the booth. That's right, not raining. We got Todd Elvig, the five-tool player. So, Steve Hannan, I'll start with you, 7-3, and the word right now is that Aiden Ziomas, we will not see the heralded four-year phenom starter in the second half.
Yeah, so we got good, bad, right? We got Eastlake and Glacier Peak, and Eastlake has somewhat dominated this game to some extent, but Glacier Peak's only down by 4. In great position to come back and win this game for sure. And then right there, you know, we learned that we're probably not going to have Aiden to help us out. So what's the message as a coach talking to their team? Fellas, here's an opportunity. Here we go. We are not a one-person football team. We have 75 kids out here, and now we got to jack it up. Everyone's got to do their job better now. Just focus in, let's execute the offense, let's play great defense, let's go out and win ourselves a playoff game. That's got to be the message.
And Luke Windsor, I'll throw you a curveball.
Oh, okay.
Baby. If you're Nick Bender, if you're the offensive coordinator, because I always tease Steve Hannan, you know, defensive coordinator, he barely looks at the offensive coordinator, he's the head coach. What are you doing at halftime, Nick Bender? It's hard, you don't want to change, but now you have a young quarterback. He's seen some time, but do you change your approach, the game plan, anything like that?
You might pare down the offense just a little bit, just find out what plays your backup quarterback knows and runs really well. I'm assuming he's got a lot of playing time on Mondays in JV games. Find out from the JV head coaches what does he like to run. And then you also have to challenge the offensive line. Say, hey, we need to run the ball to be successful. Go get it done. And talk to the offensive line, talk to the running backs, and really kind of put the game in their hands.
Well, a tough situation here as we get ready for the second half. And, you know, Kenny has gotten some time. He played actually a lot of the Mariner game, 28-13. He had 13 attempts, 5 completions, 28 yards through the air. And then also got some time against Mount Vernon in their last game in the 30-6 win. Not a lot there, just 0 for 2, not much in the air there. But so a tough position for the young quarterback to come in. But the big story of the first half was the fumble, the botched snap for Eastlake, and then they were driving, and we ended there with a 42-yard field goal from Braden Corrin for Glacier Peak.
Yeah, you got to feel great if you're Glacier Peak as far as the score is concerned, because I think the defense has done a really good job to keep the score down, especially after that first drive when they went right down and scored. But man, that snap over the quarterback's head down on the half-yard line really did a big part of keeping this game within reach for Glacier Peak. And now we lose Aiden, and this is just an opportunity, I think, for this Glacier Peak team just to let's rise up together and let's make it happen.
Well, Eastlake's going to get the ball for the first. And just real quick, Luke, through one half of play, Eastlake Wolves, 139 yards of offense, 76 through the air, 63 on the ground. GP, 116 yards of total offense, 84 through the air and 32 in the ground. A lot of those, 50 of those in 2 plays to Evan Manis and Spencer Kramer before the field goal.
And a lot of the Eastlake offense has been their quarterback, Robinson. I think Glacier Peak's done a good job on the running backs. They've done a good job on Suter, their star wide receiver. It's just, can they keep Robinson somewhat contained and limit the big play?
Well, we will see what happens here. A lot of adjustments at halftime. This is pretty much the only spot left to see who enters the final 16 into the playoffs on a Saturday night. Rain not a factor. And we got Jeff Madsen, our in-booth official. If we have any type of translation we need, Jeff, we'll go to you. And so we'll see. So the good news for Glacier Peak without their starting quarterback is they get to start, the second half here with their defense.
Yeah, and that could be a real plus because you can kick the ball down there and get them on the 20-yard line, play good defense, and get a punt and start on your own 40 or your own 50 instead of taking a kickoff and starting on your own 25. So this could work out to Glacier Peak's advantage if they just execute correctly.
And I was remiss. I had a huge shout-out I forgot in the first half to the defensive coordinator for Glacier Peak, Shane Keck. His mom, Vivian Christensen, watching from South Everett. Hello. I was supposed to do that in the first half.
Come on, man.
I know. What are we doing out here?
And we know now that Rory Rosenberg is
Rory Rosenbaugh, right?
Ba or Berg?
There you go,
You
Rory.
only worked with him for 8 years.
How do you like that one, Rory? You're digging that?
You'll be getting a text in about 20 seconds.
Rory, head coach now of Union, it's not an argument. They're the #1 team, and as Braden Corwin just punches it out of the end zone, they'll start at the 20.
And that's what we just talked about, right? Now they have to start on the 20-yard line, and now we play 3 downs of defense here. We get the ball on our 40 or so that could really be an advantage.
And I really think it's because Glacier Peak's now gone on their backup quarterback, the defense and the special teams have to pick up their game just a little bit just to make life easier on the offense, whether it's a lot of 3-and-outs, turnovers, maybe a block kick or a big return, something that helps the offense out.
This is a team game, and this is a great opportunity for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies to play as a team and make it happen.
We will see right now. Grady Robinson, he's had moments, but they've held him somewhat at bay as Sutter in motion there, number 11. And he's going to hand it off to Carney right up the middle. And a gang tackling there by a big 73 for Glacier Peak. And the boys.
And also give big
Bridges.
Fafita credit there. He didn't get the tackle, but he held his ground up in the middle along with the rest of that defensive line.
Again, everyone just do your job and do it as well as you can.
And we have a Eastlake player down.
We've been somewhat fortunate here if you're just tuning in right now. It's the Eastlake player right now. I don't know if we're going to stay here. We'll go to break. But Aiden Ziomas went down. He was scrambling at the end of that first half and was taken down. It was a clean play and just fell awkwardly, and he was not going to return in this game, we're told, at halftime. So best wishes out to him. You just hate that as a coach, as a fan, as a parent, doesn't matter. He's been here 4 years. You don't want to see any kid on this game go down and not be able to come out and compete. As they tend to him, we'll step away. Here's Speedway Chevrolet.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Okay, we're back at 11:36 and an injury, and that was Carney down, so hopefully he's okay. So all of a sudden here, kids are dropping.
Important kids, too.
Yeah, very important kids as well. 2nd and 8 from their own 22-yard line. And he goes, passes there, Sutter. Takes on the near side, and he's popped out of bounds by Oliva.
Good pursuit by all.
Yeah. I mean, has Sutter even been a factor yet, really, in this game?
Not yet. He's had a good return.
The return, and he's done more on defense, I think, than on offense.
So 7-3 here. Take count here. Eastlake, they average over 34 points a game.
Yeah, this has been a really impressive defensive effort by the Grizzlies tonight.
And at the same time, Glacier Peak averages 38 plus a game. Here's Robinson going deep, caught in bounds. And that's Rudd who has the touchdown and a huge play for the Eastlake Wolves.
Rudd looked like on a corner out. There may have been a curl underneath on a smash concept, but he got some good separation, and credit Robinson putting that ball right on the money.
And we talk about Sutter, but we need to go look up number 3. 39-yard pass completion.
And that was a heck of a throw.
It really was.
Quarterback. Now they got an empty set, Scott. They got no back in the backfield.
I think you got a spy on here.
Grady Robinson.
What the heck?
Now he's thinking. He's charged by Pup Harper, and he finally just falls down. Kind of a funny fall.
He was almost like doing a shuffle before
it looked like
the draw.
To me he was going to fake a zone read, and there was no back to fake it to, and he's like, holy cow.
That was the oddest attempt at a quarterback draw I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that.
7-yard loss. Okay. 10:43 here in this third quarter. 7-3 in a 4A playoff game.
But in a low-scoring game like this, it's already been a successful possession for Eastlake because now they flip field position. So even if Eastlake forces a punt, their offense will have to go a long way.
Yeah, agreed.
Robinson, this fakes it. He's back to pass. Now he's trying to get Dirks in his way. Fafita on him. And he just launches the ball, kind of shoves it out of bounds. I'm not sure what he's doing there.
Well, he was outside the tackle box. Did it get past the line of scrimmage? Oh.
Jeff Matson here, our
in-house
referee and umpire for many, many years. So where do they spot that is more interesting, perhaps. And it could be intentional grounding, we're hearing.
I think they said he stepped out of bounds before he got rid of it.
Boy, they spot it here at the 44-yard line.
So I think he went out of bounds.
They're saying incomplete. Didn't the official just say an incomplete pass?
Wow. That another big play. Mind you, they had it down to the 42 of Glacier Peak. Now they're on their own side of the field here. Now we're going to discuss this. Jim Carter, our white hat tonight, Bill Evans, as well as we've started this third quarter, 9:53 left.
And now there's an issue with the clock.
We're waiting for that.
10.
As Grady
official
Robinson.
timeout there to get the clock set right, guys.
Thank you, Ron Henthorn. That was just a funny play. He looked like he was going to run, then he decided to pass, then he got rushed, and then he said, well, yeah, I just need to sit down. 3rd and 24. Robinson rolling to his right. Launches deep across. Sutter behind. Almost intercepted by Oliva, in and out of his hands. My gosh. And Jeff Matson, you can't hear him over over our air here, but he's talking about a rule change.
Yeah, it used to be, you got your hands up in front of the receiver. Am I not on?
You're on, but we just got to hear you. There you go. As a punt here. Proctor with the punt.
Not a good one.
And that one off the side, it looked like. So, Glacier Peak. Their defense held up.
That's about as good as you could have expected after that long play. That was about a weird 3-play sequence for Eastlake as I've seen in a long time.
And then the punt didn't even make it past the first down marker.
Yeah, so here we go, Glacier Peak. What do we got? Let's come out and let's play a little bit.
Number 6, Ryan Kinney, 6 foot, 175 pounds, a sophomore.
My good buddy Tom Berg would say just put it on the offensive line and run that ball, baby.
Well,
Pound the rock.
They've had 32 yards on the ground in the first half. As Preston Weaver, he'll get the ball, and Preston gets 3 yards, and he'll set up a 2nd and long.
Now they're using the fly sweep. They faked it a couple times in the first half. Now they're going to it.
Yeah, again, 2 yards, but I mean, if you're Glacier Peak, you want to keep the score down. You want to push it into the 4th quarter now and win it at the very end. So chewing clock's important too.
Preston Weaver in motion one more time. Kinney hands it off. There's a flag. It's time to Dylan Owen. He gets a first down, but it looks like it's going to come back.
I think Weaver was moving forward at the snap on motion, so that's going to be an illegal procedure or illegal motion on Glacier Peak.
And we haven't had a lot of flags tonight, but we talked about how important these penalties and the inopportune time it seems to happen at Glacier Peak.
And that's a killer because it wipes out a first down play.
Yeah, and it was a great run and some success.
And I think what we've seen is as the game's gone on, the Glacier Peak offensive line, they were getting 1 and 2 yard gains. Now it was 3 and 4. Now they're gradually chipping away at this front of Eastlake. But
Roy Rosenbaugh, the head coach of Union, a former long time, he started the program here, and he's not going to like this either as he's texting you. But I want to keep it going. They had one time, they averaged 11 penalties a game in 1 year, and it was a serious issue. Weaver in motion one more time. Kinney fakes it. Now he heads up, keeps the ball. Not sure he was supposed to keep the ball, and no gain really on that. Or maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
I think to the original line of scrimmage.
3 yards here. Scott Ohsman, Steve Hannan, we brought you out. In Inglemoor, you had a great second-year head coach for the Vikings. This year, much better than the year previous, your first year.
Yeah, I think we're making some strides.
To playing in a tough Kinko.
Oh, yeah, you only have to see
Crown
Woodinville and
side.
Bothell on the schedule every year.
There you go. 3rd and 10. Ryan Kinney, your quarterback. For the injured Aiden Ziomas. His first pass, he sails it. It's incomplete. Trying to go, the intended was Evan Manis, and he'll set up a 4th down.
And question, obviously we bumped the receiver there. There is no uncatchable ball in high school football, right? Could that have been called pass interference in that situation?
I think by the book, yeah, but it's, there is no uncatchable, like you said. The ball was already past him, so I don't think Joel...
Yeah. The right call.
Yeah,
the right call for sure.
Good no call there by the officials. And
you're hearing Jeff Matson, our
Mike Pereira.
Our Mike Pereira of the booth. And back to punt is Spencer Kramer for Glacier Peak in the home Blues. Uh-oh. Rough little snap there. He gets it away, though, and Sutter lets it go. He takes a big Glacier Peak bounce out to the 11-yard line.
Great punt by Mattis, flipping the field position now and forcing Eastlake to go the long way again.
7-3. When we're talking to head coach Don Bartel of the Eastlake Wolves, I asked him, what score would you like to see? What do you feel good about? He said, 28-32, somewhere in there?
Yeah, he said if we kept Glacier Peak to 28, we might
feel good about it.
Yeah, I think both coaches thought that this was going to be a high-scoring game, and these defenses have come out and really done a nice job.
Do you wonder if the defensive players and coaching staffs on both teams saw all that talk and no? They got a little chip on their shoulder, said no.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
So Eastlake, their second drive here of the second half, and Grady Robinson the outstanding quarterback. Back to pass, looks over to the left. He throws it high, incomplete, almost picked up off the turf. Oliva there seems to be around the ball, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Dangerous throw by Robinson. And one thing you tell quarterbacks at every level, do not throw late or high over the middle because often bad things happen, and one nearly happened there for Eastlake.
Yeah, there's a lot of Glacier Peak defenders sitting over there around that ball that time.
Let's go down to Ron Henthorn, the wedge. How's the Glacier Peak defense look so far? Everybody in good shape down there, Ronnie?
Right now they're looking pretty good. Let's see what they do on this run up the middle.
Jackson gets it on the left side, and then nothing there. Glacier Peak defense holding sturdy.
Beautiful job of the defensive lineman just keeping that outside shoulder free, even on the block, and the back ends up running there. He takes that inside. That would have been the easy path for him, but he does a great job of keeping that outside arm and leg free, and the back runs right into him. Great defense.
And with Carney injured, you wonder how much fatigue could be an issue for Jackson because he may not be used to the type of workload that he's about to get.
3rd and 8, gave him 2. Robinson, this time Sutter connects. Does he know? He loses it. And they're saying it's incomplete.
Huge.
And Sutter almost looks like in and out of the hands there of their biggest receiver.
And that was another high throw, so you wonder if there's something going on mechanically with Robinson because he's had a lot of passes where his receivers have had to go up the ladder.
And that's a ball that we've seen on film Sutter make over and over and over again, and this time Glacier Peak catches a break.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Rudd has got the touchdown for Eastlake as the punt here. Proctor, and this one, not a great punt either. Takes a Wolves bounce, and Glacier Peak will start on the Eastlake side of the field.
The wind is punting into the wind this quarter.
It's an excellent point, actually.
Great point. Want to remind everybody, STSPN, we're just getting going with coverage. We go inside the hardwoods. Over 40-plus basketball, I know, on the schedule. I don't even know what other winter sports we're talking about. Wrestling, we got some wrestling in there. We got all kinds of stuff. So STSPN, check out the YouTube, Twitter. We got everything. We're going to get Hannan in the gym.
That would get ugly.
So starting now at the Eastlake 46, Kinney hands it off to Corbin Ferry. Ferry breaks through across the 35 to the 33-yard line, and a great run there by Corbin Ferry.
They have found something in this run game here all of a sudden.
That looked like a power play, too, pulling the backside guard into the hole.
And they're looking to go fast.
Boys up front, that's a 12-yard carry. This time Ferry, a little hesitation there on the snap and quickly taken down.
Good penetration by the Eastlake front, knocking those pulling linemen back into the backfield.
And they just tried to flip the play.
Yeah.
They went power left, then they went power right on that one, but the back stayed left, and you wonder if he could have gotten back to the right if there was anything for him.
2nd and 10 after the 12-yard first down play by Ferry, and now we have a new running back, Dylan Owen in. Kinney throws in and out. Magnet Manis cannot quite make that catch. He's made so many, and Sutter on the coverage.
Just right on in great coverage. The ball was actually thrown really well. It was high, but Manis is taller than Sutter, and it gave him a chance to make a play.
And one of the reasons that ball may have been high is Brody Leslie, a 6'2" linebacker, was in Kinney's face, forcing the high throw.
And we talked about that earlier, right? The height of the Eastlake defensive line could have been a problem.
They all could probably turn out for the basketball team.
Right.
3rd and 10. The Eastlake 35. Dylan Owen to the left. Here's Kinney back. He's got pressure. Now he goes up. Tries to find a seam. Makes a nice move, but not enough for a first down.
Interesting decision here by Coach Bender.
I think based on the last field goal, even though it was good, I think they're a little out of range.
Yeah, it feels like they're out of range, even with the wind at their back here.
And you don't gain a lot with punting the ball, so I think they're going to have to go for it.
Plus, you just want, at this point, don't you want to chew time?
Yeah.
I mean, time possession is now all your friend with your number one for-year starter out.
But when you do have the wind on your back, you want to take advantage of that this quarter and hopefully get some points on the board.
This is a big play.
4th and 7. Kinney rolling to his right. He's got Grizzlies. He throws it. It's intercepted. No, it's not. He says he didn't get under it. And again, that's number 3, Jack Rudd, who's having one heck of a ball game.
Yeah, but not completely disastrous for Glacier Peak. Whether he picks that ball or not, they're going to get in the same spot. But again, the offense found some things in the running game that's working for them. And the defense again, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on this defense now to keep this game close. If they can, again, get a 3 and out and get the ball back, this game's going to be close going into the 4th quarter, and that could help Glacier Peak.
Not a lot of offense. It's like a pitcher's duel.
I like pitcher's duels.
I mean, Scott Estician over there, he's got nothing to even, he's not breaking the machine. His fingers are nimble.
And for a defensive coordinator, he's got to love these games.
This is the greatest game in the
First
world.
and 10. Robinson going to tuck it and run right up the gut. Tries to make a move. Great pursuit there by the Grizzlies and Reese DeHaan.
Yeah, just a 4-yard gain. It looked like he was going to get a lot farther than that. So great job by the Grizzlies.
The way he's ran the ball tonight, when he first broke through the line, I thought he'd get at least 20. So good pursuit.
Great.
5:28 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Who is going to be that last team of the 16? Rudd gets it to Sutter on the far side, and 2 Grizzlies take him down quickly. Maybe gain of 1 or 2 or maybe 3. Olivo on there as well. And Mitchell Harper with a good tackle.
This was an interesting call now from Donnie here. What does he want to do 3rd down and 3? Does he want to run the ball? Does he feel like he needs to throw the ball? This could tell us a lot about his respect for the Glacier Peak defense, which has played really well tonight. Oh, look, they're going to be in an empty formation.
I let Grady just do whatever he wants.
Quarterback draw here?
Yeah,
there you go.
Look at him.
And Robinson comes across the first yardage, and he's good here.
That wasn't even a draw. He just took it and it's almost a quarterback dive.
And it's just get your pads down, boys. You can't go backwards on the defensive line like that.
Takes the pile, and they move the chains. Good prediction there by you guys.
And that wasn't me. That
nice
was
job.
The boss who got that one.
Oh yeah, I was a little bit wrong because that wasn't a draw. He didn't fake pass and then go. He just got it and went.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
I know. Later, y'all.
They look over, and for an injury, number 4 on Eastlake Wolves, hope he's okay. We haven't seen him again. Number 4, Carney, who's such a big part of their offense. Robinson in trouble, but he sneaks out, eludes tacklers, breaking tacklers. Grady Robinson almost gets about 6 yards.
Did he get that much?
My goodness.
I think maybe 4. But this is, if you're a Glacier Peak pass rusher, you cannot get past Robinson. You have to get no farther than him. And if you go by him, it just opens up a huge running lane, and that's what happens.
And they got a great push, like you said. Now they've got to spin back into the quarterback. They can't just continue to run up the field and get in those running lanes.
It's almost where if you don't beat your blocker on the first 2 or 3 steps, then you almost have to go into a holding pattern and you just wait.
Right, we talked about our run fits and staying in them.
Eastlake with a shot and a chance here to put it on. Quick throw and miscommunication there, and Oliva almost had another one.
And Glacier Peak got lucky.
His first one.
Ryan Black, the linebacker, he was in man coverage on that slot receiver, but he was late getting over there following on the motion, and that was who Robinson wanted to get hit, but
it's exactly what Grady saw, that Glacier Peak was late into coverage, and he hot routed, and they just did not communicate.
Not on the same page.
Yeah.
3rd and 6, trying to go to Vinny Montiero. On the last play, Leroy Jackson, the running back, number 22 for the Wolves. Grady. Now he wings it, and it is caught for a Wolves first down. And this time, Vinny catches it.
And that was a pretty good shot by Manis right there. That kid held onto the ball. Coach Soren down there in Snohomish would have loved that hit right there.
And every quarterback will appreciate a wide receiver who's not afraid to go across the middle, take a hit, and still hold on to the ball.
3:48 in the 3rd quarter. Now 1st and 10 at the GP 42-yard line. Empty set one more time here. Grady Robinson going to take it himself. pops outside. They're hard to bring him down. Finally runs into trouble. And big number 69, Tony McDaniel.
Uh-oh, what's going on out there now?
Is that a situation where you want to tell your quarterback, just don't try to do too much, just get, if it's not there, just fall forward, get your 2 or 3 yards?
Except it's him.
Yeah, he has that ability, but it's not all. You can't always hit the home run when you swing for the home run. You have to know when to take your shots.
Agreed.
The defender's not with those sticky gloves. He looked like a greased pig on several of those. My goodness, he gets out of a lot of arm tackles. Second 11, 2:53.
Again, Glacier Peak defense. Really fantastic work up to this point.
Robinson back to pass.
Look at that push by the defense.
Now no one there. Maake. Now he wings it across, and Vinny catches it. He does. He's out of bounds, but not until he gets to the 27. Another big first down for the Wolves.
That kid is special. He is a special athlete, and those types of kids make coaches look really smart.
He breaks contain on the defensive end, jumped inside the last second. Robinson saw it, broke contain, and reset his feet, made a good, accurate pass.
Another first down. Robinson, plenty of time, and now he takes it up on the left side. He'll run right out of bounds near the sticks. And now it kind of looks like he's just playing. He's got time. He gets to run. He gets to pass.
And again, Glacier Pete does a great job down the field covering up all the receivers, and that quarterback can just get you.
Coming in, yes, he's run over 400 yards. He's thrown over 1,300 yards.
I find it hard to believe that he's only at the 400-yard mark for the season the way he's going tonight.
Yeah, it feels like he's going to run for that tonight. And that's with the defense playing well.
Yeah.
Jackson, the running back, and Jackson gets it on the left side.
Great job. Great run fits.
Maybe pick up a couple.
I think he's going to get the first down, but you'll live with that as a defense coordinator when the running back's running to the sideline. Your edge players keep outside contain, keep the outside arm and leg free. Just chase him to the sideline.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just good fundamental defense. And the Glacier Peak defensive coaching staff should get a lot of credit for the game plan tonight, and then the execution of it and the adjustments that they've already made in the course of this game.
First and 10 at the GP 15. And a fumbled snap, and Grady just has to drop on it, just like they had that Wildcat play in the first half. Another big play there.
And sometimes you need the offense to make a couple mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Help them out a little bit.
It just feels like Eastlake has dominated so much of this, and it's still 7-3.
They're on the it's almost, if you watch a boxing or MMA fight, they're one big punch away or kick away from putting this game away, but they just can't deliver it.
Yeah, no, agreed. It feels like Eastlake has done what they've wanted to do, but the score is still 7-3.
Now they got to get down to the 5-yard line to get a first down. Robinson right over to Sutter, high, catches it, and plows through across the 20 to the 18. Or 19. That'll set up a big down right here, 3rd and long.
Glacier Peak, they have given up yards, but they have not given up points tonight. And
bend but don't break.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how they've played this out. And it's been fantastic to watch these guys scrap and claw their way in this game.
30 seconds left here to go in the 3rd quarter.
They're doing a great job tackling too, I think.
3rd and 14. Grady goes across. It's caught at the 12, and he gets just a little farther to the 10.
4th down, right?
And that's Sutter.
Here we go.
I think Eastlake. I think Eastlake will go for a field goal here because we're going to run out the clock here in the 3rd quarter. I say kick the field goal and make this a 7-point game, which, the way this game's going, that could be huge.
Well, they're now going to get the wind if it looks like the flag isn't blowing like it was earlier. But their kicker, Ryan Curran, he can do it. He's got 3 from 28, 29, and 29. We saw him warming up. He can boot it. We'll be back right after this. The fourth quarter, playoff football on STSPN.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Well, it's all down to this. Scott Ohsman, Steve Hannan, Luke Windsor, Ron the Wedge Henthorn. And go down to Ron Henthorn here as Curran looks like a 32-yard field goal attempt from really the center of the field, and there's a whistle.
Oh, no.
No, it's a timeout.
Is that Glacier
timeout,
Peak's
Glacier
timeout?
Peak.
Oh,
their first one.
Oh, that is not good, fellas. Not in a game like this.
Was
You
that a
need
procedure
those.
thing? That was a substitution or just not the right personnel on there?
It's anybody's guess.
I don't know. Ron Henthorn, you know what was going on down there? It's not the right people in the right places?
Called timeout because somebody wasn't lined up right out there, but they're just going for that field goal. I'm not sure what the problem was. They're working it out.
Glacier Peak might have had a block on right there, and they didn't get the right person in the right spot to block this kick, and they felt like the timeout was more important to get what they wanted. But, man, that could be costly in a game like
But to have to call timeout after the break in the action at another quarter.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Well, if they block this kick, it was worth it.
Yes. Or even if he misses, I think they'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
Oh, so this, I'm sorry, this will be, a 27-yard attempt?
Yes, I think so.
I was gravely erred there last time. So this, in high school football, you never know. He's hit this before. It's up, and it is good. You know, we've done a lot of games, and we haven't seen 2 field goals in quite a while. But they stretched the lead here to 7.
And in such a low-scoring game like this, a field goal feels like it's worth a lot more than 3 points.
Yes.
It is a defensive struggle. But here we talked about the special team stepping up and helping out Glacier Peak. They've done a good job on these kick returns. There's a couple of times they've been a step away of really going, so maybe we can get a big return.
Do they have maybe a special return, like a reverse or something a little different that they maybe take advantage of Eastlake and be aggressive here?
See the sideline there for Eastlake. The Wolves out of Kingco. Everybody moving on from Kingco yesterday and earlier today. If you're Glacier Peak, though, gentlemen, I mean, what do you do on offense? Yes, you got to run the ball, but what else can you do here?
Yeah, well, they've had success running the ball in this quarter. I think you got to mix in some of those screens. You got to mix in some plays at the quarterback that he's comfortable throwing, but I think you've got to run the football here and just keep pounding out some first downs if you can make that happen.
Run it, and then if you start getting the linebackers and the safeties creeping up, maybe slip that wing back when they're in that formation behind them on a little go route or ISO pass.
And we saw that. You know, you get into that heavy run formation look, and they gear up for running. We saw the H-back slip through and was open
for Eastlake. Yeah.
So maybe that's something they could look into doing too.
Just the start of the fourth quarter here. Glad you're with us on STSPN. Eastlake looking to punch a ticket here to the final 16. Same thing with Glacier Peak. It's been a while since Glacier Peak's done it. Kickoff is taken up front, and that's Ferry. Gets it. He kind of spins down across the 30 to 32, and that's where Glacier Peak will start their work. Aiden Ziomas going out. He will not return to this game, and just a frustrating way for him if Glacier Peak's not able to come back and be victorious for him to end his high school career.
Yeah, and it's a 7-point game, right? So, like, anything could happen right now. The way that Glacier Peak's defense is playing, this game is well within reach for them.
It's really they're only one play away from tying it.
That's
so
exactly right.
Kalen Briggs, the running back, the senior, to Kinney's left, Ryan Kinney, and he fakes it to Briggs. Again, I think there's just, again, not getting a lot of reps. I don't know that Kinney expected to not give the ball to Kalen Briggs.
Yeah, Eastlake player.
I think you hit it right on the head, Scott. I think that's just a rep thing, and that was a timing play, and he just didn't get the ball to the running back.
You have to wonder how many reps does Glacier Peak give their backup quarterback in practice with the starters?
Right. Yeah, that'd be an interesting question.
Every team is different. I know at Kamiak we usually give our backup maybe a series in practice with the starters just in case, but again, every team's different.
Right.
Mount Vernon, big win, 47-6 over Auburn. Mountain View, as Kinney hits here 2nd and 12.
He's got a guy wide open.
He's got a guy open. He's going deep, just too deep.
Didn't see him in time.
He's trying to go to the tight end. Isaiah Look.
If he stops and sets his feet now, look on the replay, he would have had it, but he took about two. He had about took 2 or 3 extra strides.
And you were seeing, Steve, you were seeing number 30, Preston Weaver, that down kind of the middle of the field.
They were both open, but the one he threw it too late.
3rd and 12, 11 minutes to go in this football game. 10-3 lead for Eastlake Wolves. Kenny, the quarterback, sophomore, spins out, rolls to the near side. Now he's getting chased, and he gets flung out of bounds, and that's a big play. Jacob Allen, that's one of many plays. I think he was the one who tackled Aiden Ziomas. He's a heck of a player.
This is a dangerous part of the game here for Glacier Peak. A good punt here, good punt coverage, play good solid defense again and give your offense a chance, but it's starting to get that feel.
Yeah.
They do not want to go down 2 scores. I think another Eastlake score.
Oh, and it is blocked. Spencer Kramer, he can't keep on his feet, and it'll go down at the 20-yard line. Boy, did you just call that. It was a funny, if we go back, all of a sudden Eastlake brought a bunch of kids up.
It's like they didn't believe it was going to be a punt, and then at the last minute the coach goes, no, punt return, and all the guys come running on the field. The other guys, I can't believe there wasn't more than 12 guys on the field.
I don't know, but and it didn't look like even Spencer Kramer was back as far as you typically are for a punt. And it's blocked, and all of a sudden the defense is right back down there, and they take over at the 20-yard line, the red zone. Grady Robinson. He goes to the right side. He's got somebody open. It's caught. Touchdown, Eastlake. And it's number 12, who is the punter as well, Jackson Proctor.
He's listed also as a quarterback.
He is listed as a quarterback. My goodness.
But he's 6'2", so he's got good height, so he can go up for that jump ball. And that's I think that's Eastlake taking advantage of the situation and going for the jugular right there.
A lot of teams will do that, right? You get the turnover, the other team's down a little bit, and you take advantage.
Take a shot right away.
A 20-yard touchdown catch. Robinson to Proctor. And they're going to go for 2, and it's Proctor again. And he gets in, and the 2-point extra try is good.
Gosh, it looks like the corner was in position to make that play and just wasn't quite able to do it.
Can't teach height, and you can't defend a perfect pass.
That was a nice ball. But here we go, fellas, right? You know, the coaches have got to have those guys in that circle right now. They're saying, listen, fellas, this is our opportunity to show what we're made of right now. This is a part of the game that we need a big-time return. Everybody hit your blocks. Everybody get through your gaps, and let's go make something happen right now and get us emotionally back into this thing.
Well, they need a lot of help now. 18. Yeah. It doesn't seem like a lot of points with 10:44. It's just you have a quarterback who's a sophomore. He's barely gotten any reps. They can't get anything on the run game going. This is a very, very good Eastlake team. And you're at the playoff portion of the program here in Week 10.
And if I'm Coach Bender, I'm thinking if we get good field position, do I start maybe looking at some of the special plays, reverses, half-back passes, stuff like that? It's just something different that Eastlake maybe hasn't seen yet.
Let's go down to Ron Henthorn as we hear the kickoff. Ronnie, did you see something on that punt for Glacier Peak? We were talking about a lot of Wolves coming out as the kickoff here. And Kalen Briggs is the return man. Brings it up across the 25. Ron, did you see anything on that block punt?
It was a pretty much clear shot right up the middle. Nobody blocked him. It came straight through. So, yeah, a let down on the line for that one.
And with the way that Eastlake ran onto the field, you think there would be confusion. Who do I block? They were just all over the place.
I think there's confusion, but I think you said, I'm a little surprised that there wasn't a flag for just illegal participation or illegal substitution.
Well, nonetheless, Glacier Peak now with the ball on their own 28. Kenny now getting pressure. He dumps it off to Manis, and Manis runs into his own player, still on his feet. Even a blue jersey can't take him down, and he gets about 6 yards.
And I was about to talk about how a couple of the Eastlake defensive linemen read screen and broke off their rush. But Manis, great individual effort there.
And a high percentage throw for a young quarterback. You throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, you get yards, and you start gaining confidence.
Leaves them at 2nd and 3. Washington now 24-17 up on Stanford. 9 minutes left to go in that game. Kenny, first completed, tries to go second one. It's intercepted. Overthrows, trying to go to David Castro, and it's intercepted. And Vinny Montiero has had one heck of a ball game with the interception and the touchdown.
Yeah, it looks like Castro was open. He found the soft spot in the zone. Ball was just a little off the mark.
High and a little bit behind.
Yeah, just a little off the mark. And when you're down on the field and those guys are rushing you, and you see all that movement around you, that's going to be tough for a young quarterback. And that was a good, 15, 20-yard throw down the field.
But as you said with the rush, I don't think he's seen a rush like this all year, whether he even maybe in practice running scout team, but not in a game situation.
Aiden Ziomis, the starter for Glacier Peak, going down at the end of the first half, not able to return. Our heart goes out to him and his family and everybody. And there's Robinson coming through. And now if you're the Eastlake Wolves, you just eat the clock, run it, and do what you got to do to get out of here and move on. And we have a Grizzly down, and that's Evan Manis.
Have we seen, Scott, Glacier Peak in a Wildcat-type offensive set where a running back is catching the snap and some fly sweep action?
Couple times here and there.
So we have it in the system anyway.
Well, I mean, that's my memory, so we know that's not good. I could text Tim Boyle. He could tell you whether or not. We haven't been to Evergreen. We don't do the away games anymore, but I think it's in there. But Alabama just putting it on LSU, 29-0. Oh, well.
That's a shit.
Yeah.
At LSU, that's tough.
There's a counter tray action, guard tackle pull.
Jalen Bright, the ball carrier. Oh, now flags are flying.
Little extracurricular activities.
Yeah, here's where the frustration starts to kick in.
Well, if that was a punch thrown by a player, he should be ejected.
A little frustration going on down here, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Ronnie.
Yeah, I got a lot of frustration going on down here with the Grizzlies right now. Seeing Travis Anderson there got a little ambitious there right toward the back of that, drew that flag. So I think the Grizzlies are getting frustrated, but they shouldn't be. They should be playing harder instead of getting frustrated.
Yeah, 57, I think, is Travis Anderson, a sophomore.
And 57 for Eastlake got into it too,
yep.
I think. But regardless of what team he's on, if a punch is thrown, he should be tossed.
William Woodgate there, as you're seeing our Jim Carter and the crew discussing it. Wind blowing a little bit.
Yeah, they're discussing whether they're going to eject this kid, I think. What do they say?
Dead ball, personal foul on Glacier Peak.
Yeah, looks like they're going to let him play, though.
No ejection.
Okay.
Jeff Madsen, our in-booth official here, telling us he didn't think it quite hit him.
Just flailing of arms.
Seen it a couple times. Todd Elvig, the 5-tool player. We had Ryland Spencer, who's put a lot of miles. Todd Elvig has clocked a lot of hours behind the screen running STSPN this football season with volleyball and everything else.
He is the man.
Grady Robinson. And now you get a 2-back, and here we go. Bright with the ball. And he's taken down. Maake Fafita. A lot of questions. Got to see earlier on CBS Sports Network his older brother, Mosese Fafita, the great nose tackle. Air Force loses a tight one to Army earlier. It was great, though, listening to the broadcast, and Mosese got a tackle.
That's probably a quick game. 2 triple option offenses who don't want to pass it.
Nah, it was pretty good. You see the replay there, and Bright goes down. But we'll see what happens to Maake. A lot of these kids looking and playing on Saturdays other than today. 2nd and 12, by the way, on the 22. Grady taking it. He has got a seam. And touchdown, Eastlake Wolves, Grady Robinson.
He had just enough of an alley there. And it's credit Sutter. He hasn't done much offensively, but he did have a good block out there on the perimeter.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
so,
and these Glacier Peak coaches, they have a lot of pride, and they're not going to like the fact that when the newspaper comes out tomorrow, the score is what it is. I mean, that's the truth, though. They've played really well.
But this game was a lot closer than the score is going to indicate. And
7-3 at halftime as Coran comes on for the extra points up, and it is good. And Glacier Peak, let's just talk about reality here. So Wesco, you talk 3A, you talk 4A. We had Lake Stevens get there. We've had a couple times where we've sent some teams from the north to the Kingdome, and they represented well.
Kingdome was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I mean the Kingdome, I mean the Tacoma Dome. I just see a dome.
Okay.
But the Wesco continues to struggle to compete in many ways with Kinko and even some other leagues. Obviously Union in 4A this year, and Camas is always outstanding. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's just.
Or do you think that's just wrong?
The SPS, the South Puget Sound League was the top league 15 years ago. They had a lot of great football teams coming out of there with Puyallup and so on and so forth. Kentwood and all and so, now Kinko's been on top for the last maybe 10 years or so. But now it's starting to move down to Union and Camas and Skyview, and the league down there is a really good league.
That Vancouver league could challenge the Kinkos for best league in the state. In the 90s, Cascade was a regular appear in the semifinals as well. So I think it's cyclical. I think eventually Lake Stevens has a great shot at making it at least to the semifinals this year for Wesco.
This one taken by Evan Manis. Good to see him out there. He's weaves his way, slicing and dicing. The magnet goes all the way up to the 46.
Still playing.
He wants to play and conjecture on where he's might catch a ball or run after a quarterback next year in college.
6'5", 210. He's got the size that a lot of schools are going to be looking for.
Yeah, that's what a lot of those guys, when they come in to talk to coaches about their kids, it's the length now. That's the big thing. Length.
And for him, he's got the size where he could be a tight end, he could be defensive end, when they can redshirt him for a year, get him in the weight room, put some muscle on him, and turn him loose.
There's one Grizzly still playing hard out here. That's Evan Manis. And if I was the offensive coordinator, I'd get him the ball as much as I could.
Get that headset away from Nick.
Exactly.
Let's call some plays.
Ron the Wedge Henthorn, just walk right over. Fakes it to Briggs. Now goes over, incomplete. Trying to get David Castro. Cirque Disso Castro, I tell you what, he has unbelievable catches. He has a one-handed catch. You can go back on our STSPN YouTube channel and see that. It was just spectacular here in the field or in the end zone here. Unbelievable acrobatic catch. He had one in Monroe where he just landed on his can inbounds. He's just been spectacular. Had another one-handed catch. 2nd and 10. Kenny going to go again. Trying to go to Spencer Kramer, and it's knocked down.
Yeah, he's going to need some help now. These receivers that Glacier Peak has, they got to help out this young quarterback a little bit. That ball was a little bit behind Spencer, no question. That's probably a ball that we've seen him catch.
Any receiver worth their salt will say, if it hits me in the hands, I should catch it. And can we get Manis on a dig route here or something?
Yeah.
That's a route I think I'd love to see them use him on.
3rd and 10. And we got some Ferry in the backfield, goes to him, look. Now he unleashes a high jump ball. Spencer Kramer almost has to play defense against Sutter. It's incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like Kramer actually stopped running for a split second, and then when he saw the ball coming his way, he sped up again.
Evan Manis, I'm looking forward to seeing him on the hardwoods. Good basketball player as well, just a great athlete.
Yeah, he's a great kid. I remember, I was here when he was a freshman, and we knew that we had something special in him then.
4th and 10, they're just going to go for it. Kenny, the quarterback, the sophomore back, unleashes it over the head. He had Manis open, but just too high, and you can't fault the poor Kenny kid. I mean, he's coming in here doing a great job.
I don't think when he woke up this morning he's expecting to play as much as he has. So
his 2 completions coming in right now, as statistician is telling us. 1 interception. One interception. Glacier Peak has had a great year. They had a tough game. They almost beat Lake Stevens, and I think Lake Stevens is tough this year. Some say maybe not quite as good as last year, but they have been getting better and better as the season's gone on, and they had no problem getting into the final 16. So they're a top 5 team probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I watched them a little bit this morning on film and was very impressed with them as always.
Eastlake with the ball. They get it now to Bright. Jalen Bright, the junior, getting some good time. So it was fun coming on a Saturday, though. Traffic was light. Much lighter for me.
I didn't notice. I just lived down the street.
I know. I kind of lived down the street, but
I had to come from Marysville from a 7-year-old soccer game.
There you go.
Where my daughter scores a goal and does the Conor McGregor strut, or her version of it, and I didn't know she knew how to do that.
There we go.
There's a penalty here, holding on Eastlake.
Huskies have pushed the lead to 27-17.
There you go, dogs. Go get them.
A little over 5 minutes to go in the game.
All right, let's finish this thing out. Let's get a big play on defense here. Maybe a score on defense. Let's get some momentum back.
Jackson, the ball carrier, and DeHaan just ring around the rosy there and throws him down.
And you can tell DeHaan, he was looking to strip the ball because he really tackled Jackson by the football.
Which is,
that's what they're trying to do. They're
situation like this.
First guy gets him, holds him up. Everyone else try to knock the ball out.
Yeah, I mean, Glacier Peak is still playing. They have not given up. They have not thrown in the towel. Their body language is good. The kids are still excited. We just got to make a play. A big play's got to happen here on the defensive side, or like you said, in special teams off a punt.
But that their effort is what it is a credit not just to the coaching staff, but to the senior leadership of this team.
It's an excellent point.
2nd and 18. Rosen cakes it.
There you go.
Gets by Magnus, and he just stops and just kind of drops. It's kind of an awkward.
He pulled kind of a Todd Gurley there.
Yeah, that was. Gets into GP territory about the 36-yard line. 10-10 Cal Washington State.
Hey, Cal's
in the
playing
Palouse.
Coach Wilcox is a great defensive coach.
Yes, he is.
And all he needs paired with him is a good offensive coordinator, and that's going to be a program that could be tough to deal with.
Yeah, they're playing better as of late for sure.
Tyson Lang, the sophomore quarterback we see warming up here out of your screen for Glacier Peak. And this time, big number 24 gets it on the right side. Austin Gray, senior running back, running downhill. And now Coach Bartell, he gets to just throw anybody and everybody he wants out there.
He's feeling pretty confident right now that they're going to walk out of here with a win. Now they're trying to get their seniors in the game. It's a big moment. It's a big moment for seniors. That's a classy move by Coach Bartell.
And you can tell your running back coach, just put it anywhere you want. Let him get a few carries.
Yeah. Is this the Jackson kid?
It is Leroy Jackson, and that time Evan Manis with a takedown. 1 point on that?
2
2-point takedown.
2-point takedown.
Wow, if you have that one on replay, that was the closest thing to a horse tackle that wasn't called I've seen for a long time.
It was not gentle, that's for sure.
I don't know our in-booth referees questioning that, Ron, but you're much closer. See, now even he's up here in the booth.
We're just having all sorts of conflict up here.
We are going to have the Adrenaline fundraiser player of the game at the conclusion of the game here.
Someone's got to teach you guys the rules.
That is true.
What are we at? We got third down now? Third
and 6.
Would love to see Glacier Peak hold right here. It's just a matter of character, right?
Eastlake going to take a timeout. We'll take one too. 5:07 left to go on Saturday night. STSPN.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Back here, we're already discussing Scott Ohsman, Steve Hannan, Luke Windsor. Ron Henthorn, we're talking about Eastlake's quarterback, Grady Robeson, or Robison, whichever is better. I'm sure I've brutalized that name. Apologies to the family and friends.
Give the kid a shirt. He'll feel good about it.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll forgive you.
He has been outstanding, as advertised, and a junior. Sutter. It's completed to Mr. Sutter, who gets a first down. Nate Sutter, the senior. And that'll keep, right now, the clock ticking under 5.
Good play call there for Eastlake. They need 6 yards, so call a 7-yard route. Complete it, get the first down, keep the clock running.
Good college, good football weekend, though. We had some big games today. Some of them were exciting, some of them weren't. We have a Seahawk game tomorrow against the Chargers. That's rare these days. 1st and 10. And Jackson on the left side. Once again, he's taken down by Evan Manis, and a flag is up. And I think they've seen enough of Evan Manis basically body slamming players.
Yeah,
I don't know. Jeff Mattson?
No WWF.
That was a pretty clear body slam by Evan Manis, and I think that's part of the frustration of what's going on down here right now.
And they're feeling for their buddy Aiden Ziomas. You talk about Manis, Castro. A lot of these kids have known each other, played with each other for, since they were young kids. And there's the discussion there with Evan Manis.
Coach, do you take Manis out of the game at this point? He's in for a play just to calm him down.
Yeah. Different coaches have different philosophies on that one. It looks like they're going to leave him in the game. They know this kid a lot better than I do, but. It is a frustrating situation for a senior that's been so successful as his kids.
Yeah, and they wanted this, as both teams do, but Glacier Peak didn't have a great year last year. They've had a lot of success. Let's not get, and you were here for most of that. It's only been around since 2008.
And with Ziomas being injured, a lot of these players, especially the seniors, are going to have the what if question.
Sure.
I think I have that question.
What if Aiden is healthy for this
they're
game?
down 7-3 at half.
Yeah.
They stopped him. The first possession of the second half for Eastlake was stopped and turned the ball over. So what if is good. And the backup quarterback now, Proctor in, number 12 for Eastlake. They hand it off. It's just a big pile.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get enough going on the offensive side to stay in the game. And once you start getting 3 outs and punts, 3 out, and punt, and the defense, it's hard.
It wears on the defense mentally too.
Oh, absolutely.
No question. It's just
we're gonna be out here again.
Yeah, 35 seconds have rolled off the clock, and we're back out here again. Rory used to do that to me all the time.
Got to make sure he's still paying attention. Let's see if he texts you.
Which another reason why so many defensive coaches do not like no huddle offense.
Yeah, no, that's it, right?
From the goal line. And he's stuffed.
Wow.
What a play there by big 78, Tyler Kring.
They tackled both the back and the quarterback. They made sure to leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, that is assignment defense right there on that zone read. And they had 2 guys tackle the running back, quarterback kept it, and there's the defensive end right there to make the play. It's impressive to watch Glacier Peak continue to play.
It is, yeah. Kudos to them, big credit. And that stops, so that's a 4th down. So you'll see the place kicker out, Karan out one more time for a 24-yard field goal attempt. He already has a 27-yarder tonight.
Is it too much to ask for a scoop and score off a block kick right here?
Well, I was going to say that earlier. It's up and it's good.
No. He missed it. He missed it.
Oh, did he? He missed it left. That's a big stop there by Kring, and good for them with 2:04 left to go in the game.
Well, we're still getting texts from Rory. So
Is he? All right. Should we bring up more stuff? How about the Bellevue game?
I don't want to talk
He
about
had
it.
the scoop and score. 10-6, and he goes for 2.
I don't want to talk about
So
it.
you're saying we're getting under Coach Rosenbach or Rosenberg, however you want to call it.
Rosenberg.
Coach Rosenberg's skin, is that it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
He should, we're just teasing, Ro.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Tom Berg. Tom had texted me at halftime, said, hey, try to slip my name into the call. So I was thinking Tom Berg the whole time.
Yeah, before the game, it was like the celebrity Steve Hannan. I mean, he barely got through the crowd. The new quarterback, number 17, Tyson Lang. That's incomplete, trying to go for Castro. Oh, Rory was the gambler boy. He was the
riverboat gambler.
The riverboat gambler. Never saw a 4th down he didn't like.
Oh, I remember talking to Coach Rosenbach.
4th and what? We're going. Where are we? It doesn't matter.
He'd always walk by on the sidelines.
Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
I remember talking to him the fall after he coached with my old coach, Coach Mack, in the East-West game, and he only spent a week with Coach Mack, and he already had several great stories about him, which we got to share, and it was a lot of
Kalen
fun.
Briggs. Flag down. He gets up near a 1st down.
Looks like we've got a block in the back.
Coming back on a block in the back, I think, down here. But have you girls figured out a player of the game yet up there?
Yeah, we did. It's the quarterback for Eastlake Wolves, Grady Robeson.
All right.
So there's be a flag. Hey, if you're in the podcast world and you like podcasts, we have one. Our 2nd season is debuting this coming week called Something About Nothing. No G's. Something About Nothing. You can find it on Apple, iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, on Spotify, anybody and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Something About Nothing. Myself, Tim Boyle, Todd Elvig there, the 5-tool player comes. Yeah, he comes in the Fred's Rivertown Ale House, downtown Snohomish. It's a show about nothing, and it's fantastic. You got sports. You have my father who calls in with the Yiddish word of the week, and Tim and Fern Alicious, Fern Roberts.
You sold me on Yiddish word of the week.
Yeah, there you go. Fern Nation. She tries to figure it out. as the quarterback comes up, and he's nailed Tyson Lang.
What year school is the new quarterback? What is he?
He's a sophomore.
Sophomore, okay.
6 foot, 170 pounds.
So we're likely going to have a bit of a quarterback competition
next year,
starting in spring practice for Glacier Peak.
Yeah, we had freshman head coach. You see the call there, holding on Eastlake. Greg Plank on for On the Farm, and he says we got some tremendous kids coming up for next year, so he's not worried about a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they went 9-0 this year.
They did, 9-0. And he came up and did some halftime shows as well. So dial us up, something about nothing. We got sports. We talk about everything you're not supposed to talk about, frankly. We talk about politics. We have Tracy Jansen, who's an unbelievable writer, talks about 3 things. We kind of cover it all. It's fun, good time. Lang back, dumps it down to Kalen Briggs, and across the 35, 36-yard line. $1:14 left to go. Ron Henthorn, right after the whistle blows, we'll go find number 5. Give that man a T-shirt. The question now, we'll have to wait till noon. We had Ryland Spencer on, who's on all the committees, but around noon or so is what they say when they'll have the matchups for the 16 teams. And it gets to Corbin Ferry incomplete.
But we also may not know until Monday what days the matchups are going to
take
place.
Because they have to work with the ADs and all the facilities.
Yeah, once the ADs know who they're going to play, then they have to make the phone calls and figure out, do you want to play on Friday, do you want to play on Saturday?
Huge thank you. It's been an unbelievable 2018 season for STSPN. Congratulations to head coach first-year Joey Hammer and the Snohomish Panthers going into the state playoffs, first time in 11 years. So that was a great game last night. Big win over Garfield.
They don't play boring games, that's for sure.
That is true. They make it interesting, don't they? Tyson going back over, and it's caught. And Spencer Kramer, he gets a first down for the Grizzlies, way into Eastlake territory. And that's good for Tyson Lang.
Good for him. And Spencer Kramer, he's another kid, 6'5", 210, with that type of frame that school gets a hold of him, puts him in the weight room for a year. Who knows what he could do?
Yeah, they're looking at him from what I understand.
Former quarterback. Todd Elvig chiming in.
Why can't we just do both?
33-yard pickup, and there's Tyson. He's going to go up front, and he'll get brought down. There's 31 seconds. Might get one more playoff.
Yeah, let's get a couple. Let's go.
I like it. Steve Hannan, it's been a blast. Always coaching. Coaching right till the whistle. What is it? The whistle blows. The 0-0-0 up there.
Yeah.
Luke Windsor coming back for a back-to-back appearance here.
I might as well just live here now.
Yeah, you and Todd Elvig, you guys can just, although he's moving out. Our last STSPN football broadcast this year as Kalen Briggs lunges forward. And that'll do it. 25-3, the Eastlake Wolves, they move on to the top 16. And Glacier Peak ends their season.
Wait, hold on. There's a...
Oh, they're not saying it's over. The band was
it's
playing.
It's not over yet, guys. I got to replay this.
All right.
Why is it not over yet? What happened? Is there a flag on the field? Or?
What happened?
Was it an incomplete pet? I don't...
Oh, did we get a timeout?
Glacier Peak called a timeout.
Oh, did they? Well, that's good. They want to get one more shot. I get it.
Yeah.
Which I think I heard some boos from the Eastlake fans.
Well, I'm sure they want to warm the bus up. Let's go. Tyson Lang had a nice outing here for Tyson. Good audition, if you want to say that, maybe.
Yeah.
For next year.
Yeah. Kid's got good feet. He's got a good arm. He didn't feel like the situation was too big for him.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting competition next year.
He wants to make spring ball as interesting as possible.
Yeah.
Big thank you to Scott Dyer, the Scottistician, coming on board this year. Thank you, man. Been awesome, been a lot of fun. Tyson Lang, one more shot. Here's the Clock strikes 0. He goes in the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Evan Manis, Glacier Peak on the last play of the game.
Love it.
That'll make the box score look better in the morning.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And we've talked about this before on this broadcast, but the Glacier Peak kids, give them all the credit for they never stopped competing. They knew they were going to go down, but they went down swinging.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And sometimes this game, the game of football, sometimes it's not about winning and losing. It's about finishing. It's about learning about character. It's about learning about yourself.
Things that will carry you on in life.
Carry you on further in life. Life isn't always going to go perfect for you. It's not always going to go well. You're going to have moments just like this when you don't feel good about what's happening. But your mental aptitude has got to carry you.
Yeah,
they don't get to kick the extra field goal, the field goal, they point over. No, Jeff Madden says no.
But these sports, they teach kids, you learn not only how to handle success, but also handle failure.
Yeah, that's right. And failures are just steps to success. And Glacier Peak was dealt a tough hand tonight. That could have been a very
different ball game if he had Aiden Ziomas. And just our heart goes out to him and his family, all the kids actually. I mean, just tremendous effort. Love high school football, love high school sports. And again, you can see it here, which is very rare that we get to do this, STSPN. As we're waiting for Ron Henthorne, he'll have a moment with our Adrenaline fundraiser, player of the game, Grady Robeson, the quarterback, junior quarterback for the Wolves. Another big night. 285 plus yards, is that right, Scott?
And that was Coach Keck's biggest concern pre-game was trying to corral that kid. And Phil doesn't lie. That kid's for real.
Yeah,
good football.
They had their moments, but I think he had just as many yards on scrambles as he did on design runs.
Yeah, very few design runs for him tonight, actually. But a couple of, we thought that they'd be draws. They looked like dives.
Yeah.
But we saw more on film than that.
283 yards total offense for Grady Robeson, and as Ron Henthorne, the Wedge, trying to get Grady here to give him a T-shirt real quick. And let's go down to Ron Henthorne with Grady Robeson.
Hi, Ron Henthorne down here with Grady. You led your team to a victory tonight. A little short in the first half, but you came back.
Yeah, good first half. We didn't get as many points as we wanted to, but second half we came out, executed. Defense held them to nothing. It was good second half too.
What did you think was the key to the game tonight for you?
Just bouncing back from adversity. We had a few things on offense that didn't go our way, and we just came back the next play and got it done.
All right, I got a T-shirt in here for you. I want you to hold it up. If I can get it out of my pocket here. Hold that T-shirt up in front of there and look up towards the stand up that way. Here we go, guys. This is Grady Robinson. Grady, player of the game for STSPN.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Enjoy your team, boys.
Thank you.
Nice
All right,
man.
thanks, Scott.
All right, thank you, Ronnie. I don't know if Nick Bender, you're going to get him. Looks like
I'm going to try to get Dan.
Oh, you're going to get Dan? Don Bartel? I think he's talking. I'm not sure. We might wrap it up, Ronnie. $25-9, the final here. STSPN. You can go thousands of archived videos on the YouTube channel and STSPN.com. Big, huge thank you to Steve Hannan. Thanks, man, for coming out.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Really a lot of fun. I might just give up coaching and just do this.
Uh-oh, Tim Boyle's not going to be happy. He doesn't want to be Wally pipped. Jeff Madsen, always a pleasure. Thanks for working the camera, working up in the booth, hanging out with us. It's becoming a tradition like none other.
Yeah, as soon as I'm done on the field, I'll come up here.
All right, appreciate it. Todd Elvig, the 5-tool executive producer, running the dials. Heck of a season. We head indoors. And Luke Windsor, thanks for coming back.
Hey,
Did I already say
enjoyed
that?
it.
Scott
This was
Dyer.
fun.
Jesse, everybody on the STSPN crew. Scott Ohsman saying, so long here. 25-9, Eastlake Wolves move on. Good night, everybody.